Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday. I hope everyone's having a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, wherever you may be in this place of earth we call and in this walk of life. I am Papa P1. Good to have you guys all back. Not gonna lie, I slept like shit, but you know what? We are here. Could not sleep for the life of me. Also didn't help that I fell asleep early last night and then woke up at like 9 and couldn't fall asleep till almost like fucking 3 o'clock this morning. So that's okay though. But you know what? We're still here. We got a lot of work to do today. I'm actually gonna be doing something very important for the content and for the channel. It's gonna be really fun to do. It's gonna be a minute until I'm able to show you guys it, but once I'm able to, it'd be fucking nice. I just gotta be patient with it for though. But I'm excited to do it. Can't wait to get into it. And then let's see. Gonna be also going to my good childhood friend's place tomorrow. He just became a father, so congrats to him. So I'm gonna go see him, his girl, and the new kid that they've got with it. We already got the kickbox working their magic already. Gonna get rid of that. But anyhow, let's see. There we go. Okay. But yeah, so far though, weekend's kicking off great. I'm learning a lot on some of the things for content, so I'm doing a lot of things in the back end, and I am hoping to at least be able to make really good headway in this chapter today. I don't know how far we're gonna get. I am shooting for at least 50%. If we can get to 60%, that's even better. I don't think we are though. As long as we are able to get to like 50%, I am not mad at it. Oh, excuse me. I will not be mad at it. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to waste any more time. It's gonna be a long day, but I also want to make as much headway as I can, so that way we're ready to go for the main story. I am hoping to shoot for the main story to start maybe latest next week. I'm shooting for Thursday, so we're gonna see. I'm gonna hope that we can get it on Thursday. Let me pause this. Let me unmute this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to roll. If you all are unmute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on episode 8, written in Babylonia. Let us do it. Or Linquantizia. Age has begun. Oh. Okay, this is new. Plasma beam. Interesting. Alright, here we go. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. Is this little catastrophe spot by the point we act one and omen that the next phase of the evolution is upon us? You realize that evolution always comes with elimination, don't you? A muffled voice, as though echoing through water, pierces the left his ear with a sudden stinging jolt. Then a surge of warmth seeps into her canals, dragging her memory back into a seemingly endless void. There's a hemotor on an adequate air canal. We are unsure about any intracranial hemorrhage. Insides and drains hold to bleeding. The doctor's coat is now tainted and stained beyond recognition, polluted by metal shards and splashes of blood. The voice along the shore fades even further away, yet she continues to speak, or sink, past the sunlit layer and into the twisted depths. At the far end of the trench, the silent hospital corridor stretches out. Soft afternoon light, so unlike anything one can find beneath the ocean, envelops the pristine white interior in a gentle glow. December 25th, 2150, the digital clock displays an eerie date, 2 days after one of Lula's teenage birthdays. 2197. The man fixes his gaze on the message terminal in his hand, issuing a low, uncertain hum. Sir, Where are we? Even with her memory nearly unmourned from all anchors, her caution remains a matter of pure instinct. She holds her tongue. In that moment, she realizes the person in front of her isn't even aware she exists. He keeps his entire focus locked on the terminal right in front of him. Waits for the far end of the bridge and yet blankets up on bar. Without warning, the ceiling caves in. Oh, from the start. That's the reason you... She tries to gather her thoughts, but a blinding light tears through her eyelids, jolting every nerve. Get your filthy hands off me! Her limbs are locked down against the cold metal. She could feel the same unforgiving surface under her body. The intel was salvaged from Fort Winter isn't complete. We've already pushing the experiment for publication to its very limit. The titanium-193 copolymer is highly compatible, but during data transfer, an unknown signal source breaches her memory. We suspect it stemmed from those early experiments, leaving behind an irreversible trauma in the brain. Her eyelashes clamped down on her eyes like iron prison bars, a sharp sting blurring her brain's ability to register what she's seeing. Her hearing remains unnervingly sharp, guided by her from her cell to the courtroom where her final judgment awaits. Worthless, and I went so far to make her out as test subject 1. Bring the biohazard purge, shut all down life support immediately. No, this is impossible. She staked her very existence on the platinum chip, only to have the haughty dealer cast her aside like worthless scrap. When it comes down to it, what could that voice possibly know of real pain? She never even felt the slightest brush of true danger. Shut that filthy festering mouth of yours right now! A chaotic fury rips from her throat, and with it a surge of thick, vicious fluid burst out. She could barely breathe. Shut up! Continue the surgery! She struggles against her bindings, but the spikes burrow even deeper beneath her skin with every movement. Her vision cuts through her lashes and let her retreat back into the depths of her mind as the shadowless lamp, searing heat forces it away. But she won't stop here. You can make so many decisions for me, but this is absolutely not be one of them. Continue. Understood. Oh boy. Pain floods through her, and she feels her consciousness slip away once again. Oh yeah, we get to fight, finally.
The new you is the culmination of every choice you've made. Don't let hesitation stifle your ambition, Lilith.
Did I forget to mention?
There are many things you could call pawns, but my beloved dolls are off limits.
Oh, I've never used her before. We get to actually finally use her.
It's up to you. Go all in or fold.
Okay.
You're the lucky customer. You look the best.
Oh my, god damn. Oh, I didn't even get to use her. Oh, what the hell?
A new life will soon rise from the ashes. Babylonia isn't a sanctuary, it's a tomb.
Oh, there we go. Now I can use it.
Come on, Commandant.
Hey!
It's up to you. Go all in or fold.
That ship was never going to keep everyone alive. Only my colony ship can usher in a new golden age.
Oh?
You're the lucky customer. You look the best. Come on, Commandant. What's this? Living in the past.
Damn.
A tempting notion. But what's the difference between that and being a fossil? Mr. Vonnegut, it seems the Ascension Network has indeed granted you unique powers.
You haven't let me down. But those who crave power must first prove they can handle it.
Hmm.
Oh, is that a challenge or an invitation? Either way, you didn't think I'd chicken out, did you?
Oh, damn, she walking him down. Or he walking her down. What?
Thank you for such an exhilarating game, sir. I'll take this punishing virus source code as my reward.
Huh. Well,
Let's see how big the winner's pot is. Honorable Commandant.
I hope we get to play it. I hope we're a part of her. I hope we're a part of her sister or her story. A sequence of pristine spiderweb patterns flicker across her vision, finally haunting on the 5th line. Moments later, her vision snaps back into perfect clarity. Lilith instinctively stretches out her hand. The delicate lace gloves had vanished, leaving stark mechanical joints in their place. Here, have a sip. It'll do you good. The doctor hands her clear IV bag, a thin tube already attached. Electrolyte. From here on out, we'll have to adapt to this. She takes Lilith's hesitation for confusion. Oh, I get it. I mean, do you have any alcohol flavor options? The newly formed construct rises from the operating table, testing the flexibility of her wrist. She then looks to the nearby surgeon and voices a surprisingly bold request. She glances toward Mazzano with a trace of confusion, clearly looking for approval. If her friend can take it, let her have the drink. As you wish, madam. The doctor withdraws a slender test tube-shaped vial from the chilled cabinet beside the operating table. In essence, it works just like standard medical-grade alcohol. Oh, a pain reliever and disinfectant? Excellent. Just what I needed. She unseals it and downs the liquor in one single gulp. Then she flicks out the tip of her purple tongue, licking away every last trace from the corners of her lips. Well, goddamn! That subtle, artful disarray swiftly yields to the refined grace that comes out so naturally to her. During my surgery, I must have blurted out some wild things to you, Aunt, did I not? If you're free, lady, maybe we can head over for that bar by Dominic Memorial Plaza. Her apology is rudely interrupted. You survived a procedure that should have been impossible to pull off. The outcome I see is right before me. As for the unpleasant moments along the way, I'm willing to pretend they never occurred. So spare me the phony niceties. Before Lilith can speak, Mazzano presses with her words. Compared to those trivial games we played before, those challenges to come are real danger begins. If you really believe you owe me a debt, then brace yourself, because you'll be the first to walk into hell. Alright, get him now. She mentions for Lilith to step away from the operating table, issuing orders to the doctors at the same time. We need to gather surgical data and reconstruct the mind data model, which is slowly succumbing to corruption. We'll submit the report as soon as we can. She departs the operating room with her team following close behind. Oh, challenges to come. Come to think of it, are you actually moving forward with construct experiments now, Auntie? There's no judgment in her tone, just a cool, false statement. Principles are meaningless in a high-stake power struggle. If one rule stands above all, that's the winning is everything. In the brief span of Lost Battle's blockade, the military wastes no time, swiftly sending combat constructs into active battle. Pushing knocked over old chessboards and now Eden 3, built on starboard travel with its advanced ecosystem, won't be launching anytime soon. We used to stand our own, free from Currano and the world government parliament's grip. Now we may be under someone else's roof, but there's no way we'll become pawns for Hansen and his lot. Oh, as you say, Aunt, they hold a stronghold on construct technology. How are we supposed to stand a chance? Messing up blatant opportunism and quick thinking is something Lilith has seen over and over in Lost Products. You know the hand moves, she knows all too well. Yet the truly perceptive ones always end up on top. In the end, she holds back the scornful remark on the tip of her tongue. The first generation military constructs were nothing more than a stopgap for fighting in high punishing zones. From the stability of their mind to the physical reliance, they fall short. The intel you gathered on Project Winter is incomplete, and Colonel's technological progress built upon ever since Project Sothia has become remarkably advanced. Just because Colonel may choose to conceal their power doesn't mean I will follow suit. Hold your ace close, but never hesitate to demonstrate your prowess. True strength is the bedrock of any fair competition. She knows exactly what her aunt wants to hear, effortlessly repeating the lessons etched into her memory. Good. Looks like the memory transfer hasn't wiped out your memories. Madame Mazzano allows herself a satisfied smile. Once they see our next generation frames, the military has no choice but to join forces with us. Up until she fucking decides to betray you. Mazzano guides Lilith from the surgery suit into the hallway. Beyond the porthole, a sea of stars remain eternally still. Come on, I'll show you the trump card that helped us win back Babylonia. You're an exceptional breakthrough, but trust me, you won't be the last. They weave through the ship's labyrinth of corridors, constantly passing mechanics, officials, and soldiers. Everyone appears pressed by tasks, too critical to pause for even a second. No one so much as slows down. Lilith notices someone she recognizes among the crowd. Oh, Mr. Kapar. That's the last person who struck a deal with Auntie before everyone pulled out. The blind man stands in there a daze of full 10 seconds. Oh, you're Miss Eleanor. He quickly meets Madame Mazzano's gaze. So, the experiment was a success. Madame Mazzano stays quiet, offering him a non-committal look. The construct in the magician's hat steps up with an old-fashioned display of etiquette, diffusing the awkwardness hanging in the air. Yeah, I owe all my aunt's dedicated care. And we couldn't have done without the groundwork Colonel laid back then. If my aunt had held on to those old Project Winter files, I doubt I'd still be standing here today. In a genuine, radiant smile, even her slender lashes quiver softly with the delight in her voice. Oh, these grim times, uplifting news is exactly what I wanted to need. The man's commanding voice echoes off the metal corridor walls and portholes. For a split second, he feels like he's delivering a campaign speech. Alright, that'll do. We're in Babylonia, not some gated enclave on the East Coast. Anyone still standing has been battered in this war to hell and back. I really doubt your tired slogans will land you any votes now. She obviously has a hidden meaning behind her words, and Kapard is fully aware of it. The blind man lowers his voice. Oh, rest assured, as soon as the moment is ripe, I'll introduce the proposal before the Parliament can reassess construct technology. Naturally, it means that I'll be severing all ties with Colonel and the military at all in one swift move. A mischievous glint sparks in his face once again. When the time comes, I'll be counting on your support, madam. He brazenly takes Mazzano's hand and bestows a hand kiss that's short-sightedly yet bursting with theoretical flair. Then he makes a brisk retreat, heading the opposite path the two have taken. I know exactly what you're about to ask. Don't worry, I've already taken your reward into account. The Babylonia Orbital Transport System. A towering hologram flares to life at the corridor's far end. Get in. Around 5 minutes later, the ship's transport module eases to a stop alongside the platform. In contrast to the earlier experimental facility, the spot is eerily silent, like a hospital basement morgue. The place is deserted, no crowds, no announcements, even the constant mechanical ramble from deep inside the massive hole is barely audible. Mazzano guides Lilith to the blast-proof door at the far edge of the platform. Iris in progress, Madame Adriana Mazzano, sorry. Construct code UAF-07, welcome. Construct? She's taken in a sharp, startled breath. A metal exoskeleton over the top hat, and not even a single bird feather out of place. It's hard to believe that beneath such stately finery, she shed the flesh that's been replaced by synthetic fluid and mechanical parts. Otherwise, why do you think you're the test subject 1 instead of 0? You should be grateful, my dearest niece. Long before you set foot in the operating table, someone else went through every danger so you wouldn't have to. Lilith seethed with anger, but she's not surprised. The imposing woman before her always believed she could bend everything to her will. Oh, the agony Aunt went through long before I did. I'm truly sorry for losing my composure during the procedure. She takes a satisfaction in knowing her framed mind can mimic speech just as seamlessly as a human brain. I've already mentioned that you'll have plenty of chances to repay me down the line. Mazzano steps into the room beyond the threshold. Voice-activated white lights flare to life with a steady crackle, and tiny bolt explosions illuminating the pitch-black corridor step by step. The incubation pods line up perfectly rows in the heart of the chamber. The constructs deployed by both the military and colonial function in high-density zones thanks to something called invertivirus. Put simply, we introduce a minuscule amount of punishing virus crystals in as an antigen by calculating the nuclearization process in the confined space around the subject. We generate a bubble in which the virus contamination remains low, even absent. You might as well call it a blocking antenna. Okay, hold on. Huh, okay, that's cool. Oh, I bet that type of frame can't stay in high-risk zone for very long, can it? I feel the same. Thanks to Godwin's research, I come to understand that the mind functions just like any other organ, no different from the human brain. If human organs are capable of generating antibodies, then constructs can develop them as well. Oh, what are you implying, Aunt? If toxins are unavoidable, why not filter them out? My construct doesn't need one of those bulky antenna shields. I went with the Desire instead. There's a built-in suppressor in my frame. That's also why you and I don't have that unsightly bump on our heads. Although the madam's arrogance is just as unrelenting as ever, ultimately, embracing the punishing is still the right course of action. Lilith barely bats an eye. If her aunt had arrived in the same conclusion as Colonel, that would have truly let her down. Assume the built-in shielding allows the frame to endure longer in a high-intensity viral zone, but what if the virus density surpasses the circulation rate threshold? That's my next challenge to tackle. The mind and the brain are one of the same, all of you people. All should know that the brain can be transplanted. Bodies are easy to produce if you can decide to make them. There's no limit to how many you can create. Virus filtering, memory backup. Within mere minutes, Mazzona puts forth two utterly outrageous concepts, treating them as if they were perfectly valid technical proposals. Then, does Discord know about this? She went ahead and shattered the unspoken taboo they both had silently acknowledged. Oh, I almost forgot. She's staying behind at the Colonel Ground installation. Given how the fighting's going, she's likely wrapped up in her upgrades by now. Then again, it's still just an outdated model. Before presenting the new generation of construct tech to the Parliament, I need a control group that will really sell the idea. There's some data we can't get through officially, meetings in Babylonia, but Discord should be wrapping up that collection any moment now. Oh, the surface is dangerous. She offers no judgment, speaking in a cold, detached tone that only states the facts. I have a reward set for you, but don't expect it to come free. You'll have to earn it on your own. Colonel Construct's data alone won't suffice. I need concrete proof that the internal suppression system is reliable. I'm handpicking only the most capable civilians from the Babylonia for enhancement. Once modified, they'll deploy the surface to these specialized frames, gathering real-time combat data. And you, your last trial is to find her before the punishing virus engulfs Discord entirely. That alone will decide whether you pass. So she has to find Lilith. Oh, don't get me wrong. If she were to die, it'd be a lot harder for me to acquire that valuable data, now wouldn't it? Our goals have always been in perfect sync, you know. That's actually quite rare for our family. Or for a family. She continues to rile Lilith, convinced she's in the right at every turn. Oh no, that's not it. It's just that your plan covers every detail. I'm honestly taken aback, Aunt. Mazzano answers with the praise with a frosty laugh, then she steps forward, letting her fingertips glide over the polished surfaces of a roll upon the row of incubation pods. Be it Project Pokémon or Project Winter, both are designed to help humanity conquer our final imagined test. That test has moved to the stars with the punishing virus, but the drive toward evolution will never cease. Sometimes Lilith can't help but admire her resolve. Beyond her careful planning, everything is guesswork, yet through constant trial and error, she's always managed to find the faint glimmer of a correct answer. But in truth, it's barely more than a fleeting touch. Wait, I'm feeling a bit dizzy. It's simply a frame adjusting. Now, which of you is asking for that alcohol-flavored electrolyte? Lilith doesn't bother acknowledging the sneer. She simply presses her fingertips to her temple. She pulls a condensed data fragment from the back of her mind, a single trace left by the unknown signal source during that seemingly successful modification procedure. Axioms are always this straightforward. It's a fragment of punishing virus code, Vonnegut's special gift to her, delivered to the Ascension Network. Babylonia stands as humankind's last hope, but together we can make that hope dazzle all the more. Whoever claims the city atop the highest peak will be the one to reign over the new world. Aunt clears out once more, stepping her back from her daydream. That time in our counter-strike begins now. Interesting. Okay, episode 9, The Newcomer.
Oh my, little girl, you're having trouble following along. I've never heard of the Polar Agency. Given Colonel's clout, it's no surprise that all sorts of shitty types want to ride on your coattails.
The man wears off the newly enhanced construct in front of him, impatience etched across his face. Mission report. Day 182 post-disaster. Los Prados defense perimeter collapse. Neela's Air Force Base fully overrun by the corrupted. Critical intel remains unsecure. Potential exposure threatens the operational integrity. Showing no hint of emotion, the construct over the briefing she's been given at least 5 times before.
Stop! Anyway, would you mind ditching that ridiculous mask?
This is part of my battlefield sensor suit. It's designed to work in sync with human immune and regulatory systems. She keeps her reason to herself, truly revealing her face would only expose more emotion, exactly what she wants to avoid right now.
Anyway, your isolation review is over. Dismissed!
Where to after dismissal?
This is your transfer order. You're now part of the Purified Force under direct command of Military HQ. First report to Commander Nikolai. If anything else comes up, take your new captain, Biyaka.
Colin swiftly swiped across the screen a few times with his thick knuckle fingers, then turned the terminal toward Discord to display the official document. Roger. The maid-like construct pivots on her heel and exits the briefing room. The gaunt man, silent now until he leans against the wall, straightens up and fixes his gaze on Collins.
Are you sure this is the right way to settle things? Oh, she's done more than fulfill her duty. Thanks to the punishing old past persona was no longer our concern, and Discord's unwavering loyalty is always confirmed once again.
With a slow, deliberate motion, Colin pulls out a pouch of chewing tobacco, tears open with the wrapper, the tips of the gray-brown pellets in his mouth.
As for the Polonowski,
he aggressively scrunches the wrapping paper in a wad and casually flings it into the trash can under the table, not giving it a second thought.
Ugh.
His companion catches Ronald right away, yet he still breathes out a soft sigh.
Leave the old world to fall to the old world. Well, you're pretty smart.
He maintains the cruel grin as though he's wearing an unchanging mask of the Greek Tridion.
Anyway, I'll deal with that old lady's problem later. Since the outbreak, the fighting on the surface is largely under control. Our main priority is making sure our people reclaim those key positions of authority.
Damn Colonels. Long boy! Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Hope you're having a good one so far. Welcome back to the stream. How you'll say, they up to no good. Always up to no good. Always. And the fact that we're seeing Collins younger now when he had blonde hair is fucking wild.
This year is supposed to be a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Who would have guessed Drillin would give his life for the cause in such a devastating way? Oh, if only we had that kind of resolve. I still can't shake the feeling that something's off.
With the skeptical edge of his voice, Liz cuts right through the hollow sentiment.
Oh, when did you turn into such a worrywart?
Everyone who's ever teamed up with him is accustomed to his confrontational style, but Liz simply goes on sharing his ideas.
You're right, productive services of the parliament is absolutely vital for us. So in the midst of the great evacuation, there are a muster of us transport fleets and armed units to guarantee those world government officials and lawmakers loyal to Colonel reach Babylonia safely. But after the court brings Discord back from the Lost Pedal spaceport to Colonel, he simply vanishes.
He picks up the terminal on the desk, brings up Discord's report, and skims through the details.
Is there a record of his whereabouts last known appearances on the day of the outbreak? Maybe they're living under an alias. Day in and day out, they buried under secret dealings, but you know exactly how that feels, huh, bro? Wouldn't it be nice if someday I could just live as a regular person, drifting along without a care? There's really nothing bad about all that. Instead of disposably playboy, I'm more interested in pulling the strings behind him.
In a heartbeat, the man's gaze sharpens with a fierce resolve.
This is yet another red flag, whoever is pulling the strings behind apart. Up until now, we have no come through in location. Want to hear the truth from me? Do I really have any other option?
Colin gives a sharp, icy chuckle.
Someone that fascinated by this research even before the outbreak. Just can't be a curious rider. If it really is still alive, then when we finally meet again, we have to decide how to harness his power from Kurno.
Lit sets on the terminal down on the table. He purses his lips as though he's turning over the last exchange in his mind.
Need a pack?
The man's face twists into bizarre shapes as he cheers, but he somehow finds time to call out his companions.
You know I don't miss it or stuff.
Huh. Oh, what the fuck? Hold on. Issuers was playing a part. He was already a part of this way before. Okay. That's crazy that we're seeing him now, of all fucking places. We haven't seen him in a long time. Oh god, I forgot how I did his voice. I know his was also, it was kind of like a southern accent, this too. Okay.
So, you're the new Hal, right?
Purifying Force Construct Discord. I need to report to Captain Bianca. Oh, and Damien! Holy shit, he's here too?
Oh, hello there. I'm Damien, that person you just met. Just call him Isha.
The carefree construct slides, rattling off his own introduction as if the most natural thing in the world.
I am Isarius. Captain Bianca's on the ground mission, while we head off for our morning drills. Head to your quarters and get comfortable. If it piques your interest, join me in the training zone once you're settled.
Roger.
We're all on equal footing here. No need for formalities. I'm heading out now.
Oh, catch you later. The construct's shoulder blade bears the silent eye insignia of the Purifying Force unsignificantly on display. Discord effectively recalls a motto that echoes into the symbol meaning, ever vigilant. Our Purifying Force, emo boys? Yeah. Yeah, and now we got an emo girl to add to the roster, but she's a maid. Realizing she might never break free from the same logic for the rest of her life, she's surprised to feel a sense of relief. Orders, missions, schedules. That is for the best. She serves a purpose she does not understand, nor does she have to, and an insatiable void that can never be filled. She powers on the terminal in the maintenance bay. That's one she's destined to take down with her own hands. These are the post-operation cleanup duties she's tasked with moving forward. She senses a wave of vital fluid roil in her chest. She doesn't wait for another second. She opens the search interface. Then she enters the one name she can never forget. She nearly feels grateful to Kurno of sensor augmentation. Her mind can interference with an endless flow of knowledge and data. What used to stem like a grand quest, learning every letter, trains into a simple starter skill with the blink of an eye. But she wishes more than anything that it was the person who taught her everything. Eleanor Sinclair. No resorts found. Eleanor. She goes by a different name, I believe. She doesn't hold much hope to begin with, so the result doesn't catch her off guard. In the depths of this towering warship, there isn't a single secret the Purifying Force can't uncover. And every inch of barren surface land infested by the corrupted will be on stage for her countless missions ahead. No matter how far that person's gone, Discord is determined to track her down. Oh boy. Alright, episode 10, Against Their Will. Here we go. The same metal walls, the same low ceiling. Even with the advanced airflow circulation in Babylonia, the air remains just as heavy and clinging as before.
Why don't you tell me where your members of the Poor Lord Agency come from, Miss Plantarski?
Collins standard, he's actually speaking quite gently at the moment. Still, the woman wants no part of his dagger behind his smile. You already know everything.
Pilot orphanage, you kidnapped those children.
I never forced them into anything. They were all children, all nowhere else to go. And frankly, back in the beginning, almost every candidate was brought by Rosewater.
Oh, and that guy? He's been dead for years, right? Let me check. Cause of death.
With a deliberate over-the-top flourish, Colin pulls up a dusty old mission report on the terminal screen. Abandoning the last Prado intelligence station using Mazono to eliminate him, giving Discord more operational freedom. These were all the old man's own words. This isn't a plea, it's a statement of fact. She knows no amount of truth will change the outcome of this hearing.
Now, where were we? Child candidates, yes, let's continue.
Children are far more manageable and their bodies adapt so much more readily. Thanks to the agency's efforts, Kawano now commands a fully trained corps of operatives. During those grueling days, when we challenged the World Government Security Intelligence Bureau, the Polar Agency stood as our most dependable sword and shield.
Oh?
He lets out a low, twisted snort of laugh.
You really think this sweet-talking your way through will knock a few years off your sentence? Don't forget, the Polar Orphanage wasn't founded just to train agents. If your story holds up, then why did the Polar Agency switch to recruiting adults later on?
Assault, 0-point energy, budget proposals. When the organization handed that priceless intel over to the old man, no one bothered to ask where we got our agents.
Oh, don't get me wrong, the old man has no intention of overlooking your contribution. But you know how this goes, after all. Babylonia inherited the world government's authority, so we have to abide by the rules.
Have a vigilant. Keep Colonel's interests above all else. What else do you want to hear? The former intelligence director suddenly grows very wary of the status quo. She has interrogated countless individuals, but deep down, she's already known the betrayal would one day come knocking at the door. But she's never been the kind of person who just stands there and takes a beating. What have you sacrificed? Anyone who has scraped by saving their own skin has no right to judge me. She snaps back with a fierce retort.
Oh, what have I sacrificed? My peace, my kindness. Are those the trite answers you're looking for? Make no mistake, you're not pushing Colonel's agenda. You're putting it all on line for the future of humankind. Rules, bylaws, and so-called humanitarian acts, rush through those to keep those people quiet. If we actually stuck to them, we wouldn't even be able to form our first construct line of defense when the punishing virus strikes. We're all damned by our own deeds, and we've thrown away every ounce of our dignity for the sake of someone else's tomorrow. Don't question where I stand.
The muscles of his cheeks pulled tight, craving deep lines. Raw fury that stands in stark contrast to the former polished facade.
And please, don't make this difficult for me. File an official interrogation report with the Parliament and we'll leave this all behind us. As soon as we confirm that we're no longer bringing anyone's voluntary rights, both the construct research intuitive and practical can resume full steam ahead.
Collins rarely ever loses his composure, but for Colonel to establish a foothold in the Babylonia, for his bold vision to truly take root, he's willing to set aside his own pride. Evolution doesn't wait for anyone, and neither does the ever-escalating punishing calamity. When we selected those chosen all those years ago, we cared about more than just a natural talent. We placed a great importance on their mind. This little town starts off as just an Air Force Base accessory until a wealthy Mongol named Fred Sinclair invests generously and transforms it into an oasis of milk and honey deep in the desert. Casinos, luxury resorts, biome parks brimming with synthetic life and around-the-clock festivities, Los Prados is a city built to reveal an unbridled pleasure. Whenever the streamlined Silver Express glides across the desert, there always at least one traveler who is napping or savoring their meal. With a single glance outside, the fortunate onlooker spots a shimmering skyline at the horizon of an endless sand and cacti. So sudden yet so captivating, under the glaring sun of the silvery moon, the Lucky 38 Casino Spiral Tower rivers beside its crimson peaks of the horizon, its radiance stirring hearts with every glimmer. In that very moment, the first traveler to witness this breakthrough often goes rigid in awe, unable to tear their gaze away. Then, as soon as they recover, they call out to everyone on board the special train. It's Los Prados, we've made it. But none of this has anything to do with the outcasts living on these streets. There's no sign saying I can park here. The man shoots an annoyed look at his hydron-powered cars parked by the curb. The nearby meter blinks a bold pay. Unfortunately, his beloved ride has already been impounded. Let me check! During rush hour, parking on Central Avenue is off limits. Everywhere else follows the standard rate of with a fee breakdown charged by the hour. He leans forward, squinting at the microscope, almost insect-like text beneath the fare display, quietly reading it under his breath. Oh, fine. It's bad enough that the arcade believes me, Devi. Now this crummy road has to pick my pockets too. You want my money? Sure, take it! The man wears a long-suffering expression and runs the card he's carrying across the console. Nothing happens on the display, and the red light lock under the store release stays lit. Huh? You gotta be kidding me! This dump makes you pay for tokens! He slams his foot against the flare meters, then posts, pouring all of his anger into a rebellion against these merciless rules. Wow, what a dinosaur! Even the dealers of these AR these days. Why make such a fuss over tiny details? If I should assume copper or gold name, do you really think I'd be in such a hurry? He go almost non-stop, circling the vehicle as if he might magically unlock it just by walking around. Let's go gambling with Lilith Wu. Equinox, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Hope you're having a good one so far. Welcome back to the stream. Yes, indeed, we are going gambling with Lilith. And also Discord, apparently. Looks like this is looks like this is where Discord met Eleanor all that long time ago.
Sir? Excuse me, sir.
He has no idea that there's a little figure in the coat standing right behind him. It's a blue-haired girl whose dirty cheeks make him think of the grimy smears you'd see in the old machinery when it fails.
Look, I'm sorry, I've already had the worst day. Go ahead and find someone else to bother.
As if he's still fuming, he throws one last furious glare at the sprawling entertainment complex in the distance. This is where Discord gets her lore. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Like, I know she's got her own chapter, but like, it is cool seeing Discord and Lilith here too, or Discord in Lilith's chapter. So it is nice that we are seeing some lore from both of them now. Or we saw lore from her, and now we're seeing lore from Discord.
Look, see over there, those folks are rolling in costs. Just more they could get them to spend. If you can find a way in, don't be shy, just ask him for whatever you need. No, that's not it. I can help you.
Huh? Without another word, the wandering girl walks directly to the flame meter. From under her cloak, she produces a simple necklace, a thin cord threaded through a small piece of metal.
Whoa, hold on! What do you think you're doing?
She pays no mind to the driver's frantic shout. Instead, she lifts her thin cord and gingerly slips the metal piece into the fare's meter coin slot. His expression shifts as realization dawns on him, and he steps back to watch the spectacle unfold before his eyes. The girl gauges her voice with pinpoint accuracy.
Did it work?
Yes. The indicator flickers green for a split second, instantly erasing the source of the driver's mounting frustration on the dashboard. The girl takes the slender cord and carefully wraps it around the metal shard, as if cradling an infant in soft blankets.
Little girl.
He runs a hand along his chin, eyeing the security lock, but that was cracked in no time. With a soft tisk, he offers a mock impressed remark.
But really, what's the point? I'm guessing you don't have any fancy gadgets to receive money transfers anyway, so tell me, how should I pay you back?
Once he opens his car door, his voice shifts into a blatantly insecure drawl. If fate allows us to meet again someday, then perhaps we...
It's alright, sir. If you ever come across another child like me, someone still holding on to their food vouchers or tokens, please remember to lend them a hand.
The cloak girl does a small twirl, slips out of the parking space, and vanishes swiftly around the corner. Beneath the umbrella across the street, a sharply dressed man, as Robley Smash agent observes everything from an unwavering focus. Her nerves are on edge, vigilance in second nature, but that minor incident just moments ago had left her unaware of her surroundings. She's been followed, or she's being followed. To make matters worse, the alley ahead is a dead end.
I'd like to have a chat with you. Is that alright?
It's nothing like she'd expected. There's no trace of menace in his voice, and even keeps a few paces back, giving her plenty of space to breathe. For now, at least, she's not in any trouble.
Let's play a game.
He retrieves a small metal disc, no bigger than a thumb, from the suit pocket and shows it to the center of his palm.
This little cord isn't like those flashy tokens you use at the City of Entertainment. Bucklenuts Puddles was just a humble region town long ago. People used coins like this as real money.
He keeps it as brief as possible while explaining where the game item comes from.
So, what's it worth in credits these days?
In that instant, the man allows himself the slightest of smiles.
Don't worry. Any seasoned collector with a keen eye knows how valuable this antique is.
Got a good look. The front side shows an old man's portrait, and on the back, he balances the circular token on the back of his hand, then gives it a light flick with his fingertip.
It looks like a vicious bird. Some strange letters I can't decipher.
She can make out the spinning coin, tiny as details from here. Her keen vision is nothing short of extraordinary. Satisfied, he moves the conversation forward.
We'll play with this cord. If you win, you can keep it.
She keeps her face tucked beneath the cloak, wary of being seen, yet she still gives a small nod.
The rules are simple. I'll flip the cord and catch it. Before I open my hand, you tell me. Will it be the old man's face or the eagle?
I understand.
Let's begin.
He tosses the small cord into the air with a sharp flick of his thumb and forefinger, then spreads the other hand wide, suspended in midair. The instant the coin meets his skin, he slams his fist shut with an unyielding force.
The old man.
The stranger extends his hand, each finger unfolding with deliberate care. In the sunlight, the weathered portrait of an old man shimmers like a gem. The girl stands motionless, lifting her head just for a moment. In her eyes, he glimpses a flicker of fear, wariness, and an unspoken plea. He inches closer, step by measured step. As promised, this is yours now. Can I drop a cold line a boss drops before the fight? Sure. I don't see why not. I mean, if I'm gonna get spoiled, then probably not. But if I'm not gonna get spoiled, then sure. Go right ahead. I don't mind. Just as long as I don't get spoiled. Like a wary stray drawn by the promise of food, the girl shuffles closer in tiny steps, her eyes locked on that circular object. Holy shit, she moved quick. Not even in PGI? Oh yeah, go ahead then. Go ahead, you good? What's the line that you're gonna drop here? In a flash, she slips her hand out from beneath her cloak, snatches her belonging from the man's palm. Your coin you're so fond of, what does it look like? Think I could have a peek? The girl jolts backwards in a sudden startled step. That's definitely not a coin. It's something left behind on that puppy. With the prize she just won grounding warm in her hand, a sudden pang of sadness washes over her. Oh, I almost forgot. I even asked your name, Dad. I'm Rosewater, the tailor. As though a single word has hit a raw nerve, the girl's lips starts quivering. Discord. My name is Discord. With those words, she takes out a tiny bundle tied with a thin cord, revealing just a corner of the precious treasure under his gaze. Only now does he notice only now does he notice it is a coin at all. It's a dog tag with dried bloodstains from long ago still visible. Wait a minute, what? Tiny bundle tied. Okay, wait. With those words, she takes out a tiny bundle with that thin cord, revealing just a corner of her precious treasure under his gaze. Only now does he notice it's not a coin at all. It's a dog tag with dried blood. Okay. Discord. Have you come across a place called Portal Orphanage before? He doesn't want to do this. He never puts stock in destiny. Even though these homeless children are a burden no authority wants to claim, they still receive vaccinations and a temporary shelter to protect public health. Because of this, every potential candidate file is documented in the exhaustive detail. But luck is beyond genetic measurement, and it's one of the key factors in the lateral screening process. The instant he poses this question, he has already condoned the girl, yet he has no choice but to follow through. Okay. Outskirts of Los Prados. To swallow one's words when it's their turn to speak is to hide them. As you insist on stopping and veiling your thoughts, I am, perforce, compelled to act in a manner unbecoming of a noble man. To swallow one's words when it's their turn to speak is to hide them. Yeah? As you insist on stopping and veiling your thoughts, I am, perforce, compelled to act in a manner unbecoming of a noble man. So, are you referring to Rosewater here? Or you just, I think you're just saying it for saying it. But I mean, that's a nice line. That is an interesting line. To swallow one's words when it's their turn to speak is to hide them. You're not wrong when you look at it like that. Anytime everyone wants to speak, if it holds it back, you really are hiding some things that you don't want to say. Phase 2 start is more interesting. Oh, there's different phase. Okay. Phase 2 start is more interesting. Start. Huh, okay. The physiological assessment is finished. Candidate Discord has successfully cleared the evaluation. Take her to see the others, and don't forget the plastic restraints. Then go over the basic rules again. Leaving the bare paper files at the desk, the woman steps away and exits the room. Rosewater keeps its eyes fixed on the anatomical chart hanging behind the door. The vivid hand-sketched illustration is unsettling, a tangle of red, yellow, and white forming a bizarre petal-like shape. It's the human brain. Oh, may the Lord forgive us. A training uniform isn't bad at all. Compared to some ragged cloak, this thing is practically comfortable. Yet for children who wander in the alleys, cleanliness feels almost offensive. The clothes they expect to be grimy but comforting are instead polished smooth, like the carved reliefs you'd find in a gaudy entertainment hall. First rule, you must remain in either your standing uniform or training fatigues at all times, unless it's after lights. Second, follow the instructor's whilst every command, no exceptions. Third, you must strap your wrist to the bed frame before you sleep, so the wolves won't feast on you in the dead of night. That's what? A slender, well-defined hand offers a bright orange-yellow bar, roughly with the width of 2 fingers. This is your dorm. Tomorrow at 5 on the dot, the whistle sounds for the wake-up. Meet in the courtyard for morning drills. Don't be late. She peers at the flat, ordinary-looking tool, curiosity flickering in her eyes as she wonders what it might be. She doesn't notice the contact slipping out of the room, nor does she sense the growling cluster of hostile stares creeping even closer.
Hey, you kid! I'm talking to you, don't you hear me?
At the command of the 2 leading the group, the gathered children surge forward, driving the girl into the corner by the door.
Where are you from?
She stands there, a bit out of it, her thoughts still linger on that slender piece of her hand. Maybe it's because this isn't the first time in days she's had a proper meal. That woman dressed in lavish attire just brings her to the deserted orphanage cafeteria for a spread of ham slices, mashed potatoes soaked in gravy, and crushed chocolate cookies. Hello. Hello. Hope you're having a good one so far. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Hope your weekend's going well. Same thing for you, Equinox. Hope your weekend's going well as well. Glad to have you back. You're dropping more. Hold on. Ree, you're just in time. We're kind of making some good headway on Lilith. I keep saying Lillian. Lilith's floating record right now. We're learning lore about Discord. I guess Discord is playing a big part in her chapter. So far it's pretty good though. I'm not minding it whatsoever. Yet I am yet to hear your answer. That answer hiding in the shadows of your hesitation. The answer that you have burned deep within. It seems a brutal winter must come before I am estimate to green within you. I don't know that last one, but the other one I do know. The other one that you're talking about is nice. I do know what you mean. Kind of reminds me of like what Discord is doing. Discord is going through. She wants to say some things, but doesn't want to. She wants to hear your answer, but she always hesitates. Maybe. That's how I look at it. We're glad to have you all here. I want to continue with the story. I want to try to get to this chapter and make some decent headway on this chapters. That way we're ready to roll for the main story. Because after this chapter, we're on to the main story, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that one of Blood's attacks is named Answer Me? Who? I don't know who you're talking about. The sudden rush of sugar seems a luxury her mind can't quite process, slowing her down considerably.
Could she be mute?
The ringleader ends her remark with an exaggerated mocking laugh. The children burst into laughter. It's not really out of malice, it's more like they're simply following the crowd. One of the most well-written bosses? Oh, okay. Even his Os is goated? Is he in this fight? Is he in this game? Or is he in a different game?
I can speak.
After a pause, she lifts her head and offers the simplest possible reply.
So you can't speak after all. Guess makes the best of a mute. When did he start letting Dinwits in here? The old hag's really gone off her rocker.
The suffocating brutality is the whole new extreme, especially when set against the calculated apathy of adults once displayed. In PGR stories are nice. I fell asleep in Genshin and Wuha dialogues. I don't blame you for Genshin. Wuha, I'm surprised. But I haven't played Wuha in a fat minute. I haven't played since the last time I played Wuha was when we started getting lore about the little pet that we had, the one that's got different eye colors. Yeah, that was the last time I played. Like, was after the boss fight in like 1.0. It was 1.1, I believe. It was after the fight where you had to go to the cafeteria. You had to go to the restaurant to meet with your 2 companions. Forgot their fucking names. And that's where I stopped. Didn't play it after that because I was locked in on PGR. Equinox, he isn't in PGR. Oh, well then I have no clue who you're talking about then. I'm gonna at least need a name so that way I can at least see who we're talking about. But, now I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Okay, listen up. Polar doesn't take in freeloaders. Make sure you finish that reflex training properly. Only then can we eat well and sleep well. If anyone starts slowing us down, we'll... She lunges forward, practically flattening Discord against the wall. Holy shit. She has no idea what reflex training is, but she understands all too well that fate awaits her if she disobeys. I understand. The newcomer's voice is utterly devoid of emotion, sounding almost mechanical. Their brazen malice feels like a punching landing on a soft padding, leaving the bullies completely off balance. Do you know the game Limbless Company? I've heard of it, never played it. I have heard of it. Never played it, though. Oh, what are you holding in your hand? The sharp eye assistant spots something off about the girl's other hand and roughly takes a hold of it. He's so strong that Discord can't help but be taken aback. A group of unfamiliar kids seizes the tag. Give it back! No sooner does she shout than she feels the arms locked in place by the culprit. And just like that, the metal tag lands in the ringleader's hand. So it's 2 circles, right? A stick and... The girl locks her gaze on the pattern, looking completely baffled. It's a sight Discord knows well. Any kid who's never had a proper education ends up being in the street wears the same look the moment they see writing. Oh, is that Eleanor? Free her! You want me to drop his oath in the music selection? Yeah, drop it. I'll listen to it. I probably won't play Limbus Company, but you're also not. I don't mind you spoiling it either. Well, unless someone else is someone else is playing it, then probably not. But yeah, you can drop the oath in the music selection. I'll take a look at it. But I've heard of Limbus Company, but never played it. A piercing voice rings out from the bunk at the far end of the dorm. To Discord's surprise, the crowd parts its own accord. Second, follow the instructor's whistle in every command, no exceptions. It's Peak Oast? Is it? Okay, I'll have to listen to it. I'll have to listen to it for sure. I'll probably listen to it after stream. Because I'll probably be on Discord majority of the day today. I want to hear your honest opinion on it, to be honest. I do no sugarcoating when it comes to music, especially if it's music that I'm listening to. I will let you know if it's good or bad. I do it all the time with Inheritor in Discord. Like, I'll be honest with this one was alright, or this one was really good. But don't you worry, I'll give you an honest opinion on it when the time comes for me to listen to it. But that was no simple whistle. A tall silhouette drifts towards the entrance, each step placed with a dancer's precise grace. Compared to those rowdy brats, they might as well be from another planet. Hello there, I'm Eleanor. Welcome to Pollard. A strange graciously offers a hand to Discord. The ones who used to torment her feel no choice that the same delight. They shrink away, as if they're just caught a whiff of some unseen plague. What is that weird stuff? I'm giving it back. She jolts as if a bug has stung her, then flicks her wrist and hands the scrap metal back to its owner. The crowd scatters in no time, and everyone drifts back to their own bunks. At this moment, the Discord notices his impossible smooth fingertips peeking out from lavish, ruffled floral cuffs. First rule, you must remain in either your stand uniform or training fatigues at all times, unless it's after lights. But that dress clearly doesn't fit either category. I am Discord. Thank you. Her palm feels as cold as early winter, spring, biting and sharp. The absence of warmth unsettles just enough to make her uneasy. Oof. A piercing whistle echoes through the corridor. No further instructions are needed. The children move in lockstep, but like precision-built machines carrying out the same routine. Jackets off, neatly folded, tucked into the wardrobe, a tap on the integrated forearm terminal on their undershirt, bedding unfurled, they lie down. Every sound they make is perfectly synchronized without a single moment out of place. That time already, huh? When she snaps out of it, she realizes it's just her and Eleanor left standing in the room. She reaches for the zipper on her training suit, only to feel a cold hand gripping hers. Shh. Oh boy. She gestures for Discord to wait just a moment. A chorus of crisp clicks echoes through the dim dormitory. The children, nestled under their blankets, carry out the last bedtime ritual, pressing one wrist against the metal bed frame, then snapping the orange band into place with a swift flick. What appears to be a sturdy frame instantly folds on itself, taking the shape of a handcuff. Come on,
Your bed's right here next to mine.
Discord's gut feeling says that the maiden suits the poised figure in front of her. She can't even recall which club she picked up from that word. Eleanor guides her to her far corner of the room. To surprise, there's a tiny vent window set to the wall.
Ever think about how a restraint strap could double as a musical instrument?
I don't understand. Kind of like a pipe you can blow a tune through, or a little string that humans the moment you pluck? It's a straightforward thought, though a bit out of there. Eleanor offers a gentle smile and carries on.
Oh, just like this.
With her delicate pale fingertips, she raises the small orange piece, letting it settle near the slim metal rim at the nightstand. Eleanor reaches hers out at the hand, laying it gently over over one end of the restraint.
It's all about the right amount of force.
She flickers her fingertip ever so slightly, sending the slender band vibrating against the metal surface and electing a soft, strangely captivating chime. Her inhale so soft as though she's afraid to disturb the music. Oh boy, is Big Hat Lilith? Yeah, pretty much. She got that drip on.
Oh, shall I go on? This piece happens to be one of my favorites.
She repeats the motion, and the clear, delicate nose permeates a hush around them, wrapping the narrow gap between the beds in the gentle melody. Third, you must strap your wrists to the bed frame before you sleep, so the wolves won't feast on you in the dead of night. Ultimately, we've all grown past the point where a tale like this could scare us. In the darkness, Discord picks up the soft sound of wrestling children, their instincts molded by obedience, twisting under the covers in a push and pull of yearning and rebellion. She's too dripped out to be an orphanage, Jesus. Yeah. Oh, she got that on. She got that North American Kentucky Derby type beat, which I don't mind at all. I don't. Them fits are crazy sometimes. So many bright hopes have been subdued and turned into fear. In a heartbeat, the passage comes to a close.
Would you like to try?
I don't understand.
Well, no worries, take your time.
Observing the anxious child fastened to the restraint to the bed's headboard, the girl gently directs her hand to the rest on the first notes of the performance. An unsettling noise echoes out, but thanks to the instrument's small size, it isn't quite as jarring.
Oh, see, it's so easy to make it sing.
Discord notices Eleanor struggling to hold back her laughter, but in the end, she just lets it burst out. A life of hardship has sharpened her senses, allowing her to pick up even the faintest traces of malice. Yet to her ears, there's no hint of ridicule in that laugh. It's only the warmth in this otherwise frigid dorm. For reasons she can't explain, Discord suddenly recalls the cafeteria's towering mound of hot mashed potatoes smothered in gravy. I guess it's even cozier than belly full of mashed potatoes. But now it feels off. It doesn't have the same ring to it. She blushes, feeling a bit self-conscious.
Oh, then how about you play backup for me next time?
Alright, I'll give it a shot. The silver-haired girl before her seems like a bird cloaked in a sheer veil, reaching out to her through the endless gray hush. Eleanor gently takes her hand and strums the slender, warm-hued instrument again.
Honestly, no matter how I play it, the sound stays so flat. It's nowhere near the pleasanting to the ear.
But in Discord's memory, the melody is tender and soothing, almost like a lullaby. Before long, soft snores drift through the room. Silken strands of moonlight filter throughout the round vents, leaving a fractured lunar glow across the wooden planks.
So this Eleanor, is she the one who later became Eleanor Sinclair, the heiress to the Lost Prados?
Yes. After her adoptive parents passed away in an accident, she was taken in by her adoptive father's sister, Mizono. She's been missing ever since. It seems certain that she and Mizono meet their end in Los Prados during the height of the outbreak.
Who would have guessed that the little blue-haired girl had such a heartbreaking past?
That phony look the woman can't stand creeps back into his face.
Oh, how can the institution possibly allow a candidate who breaks the rules to do whatever they please?
Collins abruptly changes the subject. It's connected to our training program. Knowledge can be taught or even erased, but only conditioned response stay branded deep within the nerves. We don't contaminate those specially chosen minds with indoctrination. Instead, we keep each candidate's body in working order through obedient trials and mandatory fitness drills.
Oh, the body is nothing but a vessel for the mind. Such cold boldness. I like it.
I don't recall asking for your running commentary. This proactive account casts her a keen of the past. It's only for the fleeting moment. In that instant, the woman briefly reclaims her lost majesty.
Hey, there's no need to get worked up. I'm still dying to know how the story concludes.
Progress on the death row inmates' experiments crawls along the snail's pace. These so-called mad scientists think they can skip straight to the uploading, merging, and even transferring memory. Pure fantasy work, if you ask me. That's why the old man gave the go-ahead for us to use these candidates directly in the welfare concert trials when the moment is right.
Project Winter wound up taking that same misguided retort, didn't it? Humans never learn from their mistakes. Speaking of which, our people recently swung by Fort Winter for the first time in ages, pressing that stupid old relic Godwin to shift his research toward military constructs as soon as possible. Even though you face countless setbacks, all your hard work is finally paying off right when humanity needs it most.
It won't be long before none of this has anything to do with me.
Oh, don't be so pessimistic. Now, where were we? Eleanor.
That girl stands out as the strongest candidate by every standard. We hold dance classes to improve their physical coordination. They don't need to grasp chords or notes. They just need to follow the melody and match their movements accordingly. Before long, we realized that just after one session, Eleanor can recreate the music on her own portable device. Bench Frank's IQ scale, B7 behavioral recognition template, extinction, qualification cognition. In every test, Eleanor outperforms all other candidates.
Oh, I see how it is. That poor girl who was hard to branch, who had to have her brain cut open first. She's pretty unfortunate, isn't she? She wants to doll herself up to do something outrageous. Well, let's knock herself out.
He pays no mind to her exaggerated eye roll, firing back with the deadpan jab. But the experiment the old man is counting on never happens.
Oh, still not finished. It's about to run out of space in my report. Oh, right. That was the tune Eleanor played for the blue-haired girl.
I had no idea you could still find the time for something so idle. Very classic choice, something special about it. Franz Liszt Tannhauser Overture. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go get some more water really quick because I'm running low. And then we continue on. And so I will be right back. Make sure you all get some water in you, get some food, and use the restroom. I'll be back soon. Alright, I am back. Ugh. Ah. Okay. Ow, gotta readjust. Oh god, I'm so sore from fucking gym. Ugh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 11, Market Garden, let's do it. The bridge deck. The Vanguard unit now works outside the military direct command, carrying out reconnaissance and old last patrols centered on the city. Our most recent missions confirm the spread of the punishing containment surrounding the surrounding desert. The holographic map glosses over the city's ruin, but that glaring crimson hue refuses to go unnoticed. The skirmishes on the front lines continue, but that isn't our concern. Our priority is to enhance the prototype construct's internal shielding. We're deploying them into the high-intensity combat zone to run live tests and gather critical data. Old Last Prados, overrun by corrupted from day one to devoid of human survivors, serves as the ultimate proving ground. The image freezes on the magnified view of the inner city ruins. Is this a homecoming of sorts? Return to a place I've once known? She regards the city's spectacle outline with a keen fascination. Waging your life against the unseen Punisher virus has got to be a bigger thrill than a simple card game, don't you think? Mazzano seizes the moment, igniting the passion of everyone gathered around him. Everyone gathered around him? You mean her? Oh, when did you ever get this generous with me, Aunt? You've practically handed me the perfect chance to get ahead. Be sure you don't get caught up in this fun so that you don't lose sight of the mission. It still needs to be finished, so collect the data you can. Time to put this painstakingly crafted frame into its paces. Let's find out how far it can really go. The madman moves closer, her voice hushed to a whisper as she addresses Lilith. Oh, please don't worry. I'm every bit as intrigued by this question as you are. She appears completely unfazed by Mazzolo's looming presence, going so far as to offer her a confident smile in return. Oh, right. Could you look after the gray Mako fire team as well? Mazzano shifts her gaze to the construct station in the far corner of the deck. Their leader snaps to the attention and salutes without hesitation. Grey Mako. 3 on the roster, but only 2 have made it. Mako 1 reporting in to Sergeant Eleanor. Oh, that's a pretty formal title, huh? I'm still getting used to all these military courtesies. Alright. Where's our last teammate? Give me a status update. Her shock flickers away in an instant, and she quickly straightens into the posture of a commander. This is also part of our mission, your mission, recovering the missing teammate. On a previous scout mission, Mako 3 never managed to board the evacuation transport. From the faint signals we picked up, he's still out there somewhere in the city. Without a trace of feeling, the construct soldier recounts what might have been fallen on their ally. For them, this mission might as well be a homecoming. With that, the madman lifts Lilith the final intel she needs. Oh. All the prototype construct candidates were volunteers, former residents of the Las Prados, each one stepping forward with their own free will. What about Kapar? I don't see the so-called honorated citizen volunteering for lead Earth's counter-strike. At the Prometheus talk is begging for a sacrifice for Tort. He's a key figure in the council. Choose your words carefully and show some respect. Oh, I get it. Everyone fights their own battles in the end. Every time she talks to the madman, she slips right back into that poised, commanding grace. The construct leader stands there in an unsettling hush, his helmet bristling with the sensors hiding his features from view. This concludes our pre-battle briefing. Good luck. Let's move out. A silent sliding door at the rear of the deck opens, revealing the elevator that leads directly to the hangar. Still, whatever the rules of engagement may be, I'm prepared to face them. She offers a bow, just as she always does. Get down behind you! The downpour's interference throws off our sensors, leaving the leader fully engaged in combat, oblivious to the danger closing in behind him. Wah! He tries to swing his gun around, but the corrupted surge is too close for him to react. Umbrella! A swirling mass of purple and black flares up behind his tight space between them. Hey! Hey! Yo! She look good! She look good. She got that shit on. The drip is too good with the umbrella. Oh, is that really all you got? A sudden flare, a moon umbrella snaps open, intercepting the deadly strike aimed straight at the leader. Get down! Ugh, I hated that one. That was bad. The leader hurls himself flat against the ground in this 1 second. Pedals and ribs clamp shut in unison, forcing a surge of compressed air to blast out through tiny vents at the umbrella's tip. The corrupted staggers but quickly finds his balance, launching yet another fierce assault on Lilith. An unsettling crimson light only flickers for a moment before going dark. Slake. Oh gosh, the umbrella strikes a sensor with surgical precision, carving out tiny shards of glass. Oh, what is it like to be taken down by your own carelessness? She lowers her moon umbrella, gazing at the corrupted, lifeless husk on the ground, a smoke smile tugging at her lips. Thank you. The leader, just barely clinging to life just a moment ago, struggles to breathe. Oh, but if it happens again, don't expect you to be so merciful. Understand? Left side, last target! At last, the team leader's instincts kick in, razor sharp. Automatic fire erupts at his deck. In the staccato burst, dark copper's casting spin through the rain, carving a brilliant arc in the gloom. Fatal air, self. Nickel-plated, semi-armor piercing high explosive rounds shred the mechanical ghoul's spine. Its twisted metal frame slams into the mud with a resounding crash, so heavy it breathes eclipses the deafening roar of the downpour. All hostiles been taken down. Hold your position and remain on high alert. Oh, that's more like it. Oh, this is my dear auntie's precious masterpiece. If I packed a deranged robot wrecked it, there's no way I can explain myself when I get back. The fire team ignores the sarcastic remark, pouring all their focus into the screens of their handheld terminals. It's Macro 3's identification beacon. We're getting close. Factoring out terrain interference and punishing virus directors, they can pinpoint the signal source into the abandoned mall in the 9 o'clock. He looks uneasy as though something is off. His reaction makes perfect sense. It's only one thing to have a theory, but the battlefield itself is always way harsher. Although the built-in shooting system doesn't rely on human mind because of civilized mind like the Inver device, it still doesn't perform much better in high-intensity conditions. One system filters upon a virus that slips into the frame. The other forms a protective bubble that virus can't penetrate. Neither can truly absorb it, a technological marvel, yet it is to be achieved. Still, putting themselves in a risky position, precisely what makes the mission like this are about. Oh, keep your combat record data and record it at all times. Any data gathered under these circumstances is priceless. Keep moving on. She delivers her command with an icy finality. As they reach the area near the beacon, they find that rain has ceased. Lilith enters the Convornia's male auditory, tilts her gaze skyward, and draws in a deep, mustard breath. Oh, yeah. She absolutely runs her tongue over her lips. She relies on her hypersensitive taste sensors far more than her sense of smell. Okay, now it makes sense to why she has her tongue out all the time. Absolutely fucking crazy. The post-radiant air is anything but clean, as the tang of iron and stench of rot sweep it all at once. But it's not those trinkets that get her heart racing. She can practically taste the thickening aura of the punishing virus. I'm not here to babysit you, just be smart. She seems to have forgotten her role as a mere stand-in sergeant, stepping briskly into the mall steps without hesitation. With no alternative to context, press 4 onward. Mako 2, process to the elevator escalator. Beneath the dome that has long silence crumbled, the only sound is the echo of construct boots splashing through the puddles. In position, checking structural integrity. The two carefully examine the corroded metal framework, only to realize that the female construct, brandish umbrella as blade, has already made it into the second floor corridor. This instills them with the confidence they need. Take turns covering each other and move out under Sergeant Eleanor's lead. Understood. Heading to the second floor now. They place their feet on the last step with utmost caution, then everything suddenly changes. Oh, that's not right! I'm not data connected! Reload! Wait! Virus has reached the limit! Fall back! Beginning memory upload! Upload in progress! The corrupted construct staggers in, clinging in a hazy shred of memory as an eerie synthetic groan resonates in his throat. Identify yourself! No, please! I'm begging you! No! I'm just waiting, I'm begging you! Don't shoot! No, don't shoot! The wailing construct is completely unarmed and displays no hostility intent whatsoever. Stop right there! No, please, I'm begging you, don't! No! He keeps staggering forward, his steps twisted and wrong. The squad leader shares a quick, tense glance with the others. Squad member, 2 nods to confirmation, then pulls the trigger. A single semi-armor piercing, high explosive round pierces straight to the corrupted construct's forehead, putting the end to its agony.
I am Lord.
The corrupted construct rashes out its dying word, then crumbles like a puppet with the strings cut.
He's probably a straggler from another fire team, but there's no way to scan his ID beacon.
Neither of them says a word, and indescribable horror of them has rooted in the spot. In the end, the construct speaks the name of his missing comrade. Within the mall's deserted corridors, there's no sign of Sergeant Eleanor.
Keep moving toward the source of the signal.
Rounding the corner of a nearby shop, they come up a far more horrifying sight. All trace of standard issue gear on the third member is gone, eaten away until nothing remains but bone. A tall, silver-haired woman stands there, her razor-sharp heel spearing the exposed skeleton into a jagged piece of rhubarb jutting from the floor.
Sergeant Eleanor? What are you doing?
At the sound, Lilith spins around, an eerie smile sending the shivers down through their deep minds.
Oh, don't you see? This place has the highest level of punishing concentration. Of fully automated customer guards and sale robots at every turn. Shopping malls have become even more perfect hotbeds for its spread than the entertainment venues.
Connected ever. The batter remains underfoot, still manage a feeble moan. Sergeant Eleanor, my orders are retrieve Mako 3. When he's done speaking, he presses the release catch on the gun's side, slides in a fresh magazine, and yanks it back to bolt ready his weapon.
That's our teammate.
Undeterred by the standing jamming system, the two edge closer to Lilith. After all, they still have a mission to finish.
Oh? You still don't get it, do you? Moments ago, you used your own hands to kill your comrade, the third member of Grey Mako. Or to be precise, you erased his backup memory. And what I'm standing on is him too. I doubt Aunt never expected her plan to work out this quickly.
Impossible! The cause never... In unison, they drop their weapons, each one echoing the other's cry of astonishment. Naturally, they recall the vow Madame Mazzano gave them on the day their bodies were first altered. And memory can be moved at will in bodies. If you want to make more, there's no limit to how many you can churn out. The moment the jammer goes down, their memories are sent straight to the central hub, ready to be instilled in fresh frames. This is the method Madame Mazzano, Madame Mazzano has set her heart on, a way to create the perfect soldier that stands apart from both the military and colonel. They never put much stock in that kind of talk, yet here they are, staring at the living, breathable example.
Oh, too bad, isn't it? We're still nowhere near the real breakthrough. You saw it yourselves, right? His memory hasn't returned to Babylonia. It's just jumped through a hardwire interference into another construct body that is already shut down. And the other part of his data made a trip. But these pretty details are so dull. Think living a long time automatically makes you strong? By that logic, horseshoe crabs, which have been around for 200 million years before the virus ever hit, would be on Earth's overlords, don't you think?
The female construct remains lost in her whispered delirium as though drifting through a faint dreamlike haze.
Sergeant Eleanor, remove the restraints. We need to reclaim Mako 3's remains.
He can't make sense of what's unfolding, but that voice is begging all the same.
Were you calling for me? Oh, don't be so impatient. You've already completed your mission objective. We're deploying them into the high-intensity combat zone to run live tests and gather critical data.
In the blink of an eye, the construct soldier built an alarm blaze to life.
Sergeant Eleanor, we must move now!
Ah! The soldier beside the leader suddenly unleashes a shrill, agonizing scream. An unprocessed vanishing virus surges into displays of purges, flooding the last fragments of sanity the two cling to. A torrent of data impossible to their mind to grasp quickly engulfs their mind.
Back up, mind!
The leader's memory shell doesn't even finish processing that final thought before he collapses with a thud. His teammate fights on, desperate and trembling.
No! Stay out of my head! It hurts so much!
The poise of fantasy from moments ago vanishes, leaving the construct huddled on the filthy floor.
I don't understand.
He turns as though he's speaking to someone who isn't there, but his disjointed whispers soon fade away. Suddenly, his senses flare red. The corrupted construct snaps upright, stiff as a puppet on display.
Oh, you worthless junk. We only just got you plugged in and you already... pathetic shit who never learned to value their chance.
Keep this Mako 3 in mind, something connected to to this might appear later down the line in other chapters. Okay, good to know. Mako 3. I will remember. She furrows her brow on instinct, her tone laced with regret and scorn. Die. With barely a thought, she flickers out 2 card-shaped high-carbon steel throwing knives. One cuts through the corrupted construct's processor, the other seals the formulator's fate, ending him where he lies. Alright, let's find out exactly how far your blind luck has carried you. She drops her eyes to the broken remains beneath her, then taps into the target's mind. In the ravaged mall, jagged walls and rubble seem to stretch endlessly downward. Lilith plunges down into a realm where reality itself bends beyond comprehension. Shapes can still be made out on melt away after another. She practically senses the punishing virus ripping through every nerve in her mind. Oh, that's it. Keep it going. Don't stop now. Ugh. She beckons the virus closer, inviting it in. Just as she anticipates, a dark red mesh surges forward, craving the machine's agony into hundreds of uniformed squares. Ah, shit, it's our nugget. At the boundary of her sight, a crimson tide gathers and solidifies, ultimately coalescing into a figure she recognizes. We meet again. I have to admit, you really outdid yourself this time. Very few have the power to tap into the Ascension Network all by themselves. Oh, are you hoping I'll fail, sir? Okay, Lilith, that line is sus as hell. Yeah. But it is part of her dialogue, and especially in the end game. So, fueled by her exhilaration, her body flaunts her triumphant. My power comes from the network, whose chosen lies beyond my control. The Ascension Network is a subtle ray of sharpened blades. It's a finely woven sieve. Of course, it never shows mercy to those who are too fragile. He states the rules with much calm. Wait a minute, what? Oh, okay. So, those few just now, they all gave up halfway? That's correct. For someone like you, capable of lasting in such a high-intensity environment, the Ascension Network offers an invitation. But whether you can claim its blessings depends on your conviction and strength. Oh, it turns out this accidental break for your auntie achieved using fragmented data within Project Winter. In her eyes, evolution is all about harnessing an internal shield and transferring one's memory for the warding off the punishing virus. And now you get to voice her expressive dialogues. Yeah, unfortunately, I get to voice them. A flare started by a misguided path can still somehow knock upon the right door. She gives a soft laugh at the sheer absurdity of it all. Take another moment to reflect. You arrived too soon, and you haven't fully truly stepped beyond that threshold. His expression never wavers as he pronounces his judgment. Oh, not satisfied with our last match in the Ascension Network? Don't worry, I'm fully prepared to entertain your new rules. A subtle hint of annoyance settles on her brow. Take it easy. Perhaps Mazzano has been piling on too many missions. It's easy for people to slip into new ways of thinking without even noticing. For now, I'll trust that you're not the sort who prizes raw power over true insight. Force is merely the baseline to ensure a fair fight. I know this all too well. Sir, perhaps you should speak more plainly. You haven't spent nearly enough time under the Ascension Network's influence, and this is just the beginning. Completely opening oneself to this pain is the only path leading to the filtering. You were the one who once set your sights on the throne, and now the plague's very origin lies in your grasp. Think it over. The key to that door, I've already handed it to you. Use it wisely. Dude, I absolutely love enjoying. I love fucking voicing Vonnegut's voice. By far my favorite character to voice. The silhouette dissolves, drifts away, and finally disappears into the depths of the twisting space. The wave of euphoria gradually settles and the thrill drains away. The pain once fractured into cubes melts away and her body finally feels it through as it's reclaiming its true form in the real world. A cold shopping mall corridor comes back to life into focus from her visual feed. Open myself completely. She lingers on that thought for a moment, then rises onto her toes. The transmission crackles through the comms. Gray Marco here. Sergeant Eleanor reporting. Mission clock reads 356 coordinates and north 36.9, west 115.3. All Gray Marco personnel are KIA. We've recovered the operational data over. Copy that. Moving to rendezvous pickup. ET Echo 419 out. Lilith steps over the two fallen constructs, calmly extracting the data chips embedded above their spines. She casts a side glance over the third husk impaled by the steel rod, then turns to make her way toward the ladder. Petri dishes, test samples, microbial cultures, each one absolutely vital. She already has everything she needs to set the filter in motion. My dearest aunt, this time I'm making the first move. Driven by the craving of the deep rap every now and then, the player is about to leap handheld long into the decade cage they built for themselves. Okay. We're gonna do this episode, and then I'm gonna go get a cookie that my mom made because I am hungry. Yeah. So we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go get a cookie. They've been holding out for more than 3 hours since entering that high pollution zone. Yeah, so far the top performer on this entire batch. Mazzona reviews the combat logs recovered from the fallen construct's data chips and lasts out a satisfied murmur. Snacks? Oh yeah, my mom made homemade cookies about 2 days ago, and that shit is so fucking fire. And I'm about to go get one because I'm hungry, and I need something in my system. Granted, it's gonna fuck up my my voice a little bit because it's chocolate, so it's gonna make my voice really, really like make clicking noises in a way. But I'm gonna try to control it. At the current pace, the next wave of frames will soon be ready to operate across an even larger combat zone. Data gathered in the battlefield can further refine our built-in shielding system. They speak of the previous mission that was no big deal, as though the loss in combat strength barely matters. Don't be fooled by the fleeting victory. Madame Mazzano raises her head in the terminal, and in her usual manner delivers a cautionary reminder. I thought that was Madman, not Madam. So I was fucking up. I was fucking up in the beginning of the, a little bit ago, saying Madman. I'm like, what? No, it's Madam. Because recall is the most vital step on the path to success. She understands exactly where her aunt is headed and cuts her off with a succinct reply. You have no right to be impatient, Eleanor. Don't forget it's all for your benefit. Everything evolves, and the punishing virus is no exception. Even if we manage to create frames that can withstand those intense coordinates for a while, a single more potent outbreak could still wipe out all of our progress, even our very memory itself. How could I ever stand and let my beloved niece, my prized test subject 1, throw her life away for nothing? She takes pride in the aura of authority she commands. Oh, if humanity truly has a shot of immortality, then you're our Prometheus, aunt. As for me, I'll settle for being your stepping stone on some path to godhood. What does Prometheus even mean? What does Prometheus mean? A demigod. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Speak your mind. Hiding your thoughts from me is your greatest offense. Lilith keeps her head bowed, trying to appease the towering pride, yet her disguise is swiftly stripped away. This latest mission shows me that the recall technology is truly within reach. She lifts her third chip in her hand and reveals it to Mazono. Her movements are unhurried and deliberate. By establishing a direct hardware link, Mako 3 manages to implant a fragment of memory into another construct wreckage, rousing it, if only for a moment.
a direct hardware link. We can replicate that approach in our lab without much trouble. Madame Ozono shoots Lilith a disapproving glare. So the real issue lies in the medium of transmission. With our current wireless methods, we simply can't transfer all the data from the mind back to the central hub intact. I keep thinking, why not use a different medium for the transfer? Her words carry little certainty. Lilith simply frames her remarks as suggestions, subtly steering the conversation at precisely the right moments. What medium? Punishing virus. Aunt's constructs can handle the viral breach, though how long it holds out depends on the quality of its internal shooting. The punishing virus carries information. In a highly concentrated area, it's absolutely persuasive. Lilith drops a subtle hint. She knows all too well that as long as there are enough backup test subjects, her aunt will accept any risk. Mizono must prove herself right this time. She refuses to be outdone by Kurano. So you're suggesting we run a short-range memory transfer test between a construct and its backup frame in a high-density environment? Precisely. Exposing additional samples to high concentrations of the punishing virus is an ideal way to lure the Ascension Network into play. Lilith doesn't mind orchestrating a few so-called successful accidents for her aunt. Do you remember how you once ruled the card table? With an almost impeccable smile, Mizono smoothly steers the conversation in a new direction. Oh, those days are long gone. Even if the world has turned upside down, standing by your side is what gives me purpose now, aunt. Following the chip's logic, that's how she secures her wins. What I'm trying to say is, that bored imagination of yours, the one who shatters every convention, is exactly why you can read every card player's mind. I'm glad to see that you haven't let your skills go to waste. Oh, your life's work is guiding humanity's evolution, aunt. It's a true privilege to lend a hand in any insight I can. Lilith remains lost in memories of the city of entertainment, flashing an almost childlike smile in gratitude for the praise. She's not presents the chips in both hands, excitement dancing in her eyes. Let's file away this leftover comment data from Mako 3 for the time being. Madame Ozono takes the chip from Lilith, then slots it into the central hub with a result click. It holds the shattered memories and combat records of more than 1,000 fallen volunteers. The longing for Babylonia, the dream of the reclaiming Earth, and even the smallest flickers of emotion, they all stored in these tiny chips. Yet that newly added fragment holds a foreboding secret, a piece of Lilith's own backup hidden deep within her mind. If I recall correctly, you're about to unveil the official findings of the construct experiment, right, aunt? Sensing that brief lull in the tension, she dares to say something that would usually be deemed an overstep. We're nowhere near where we need to be. The veteran operator swiftly regains their composure, offering a response guided by the sharp, eerie judgment. They are playing fucking chess. They are just making movements on the fly. Like, okay, she played this, I'll play that. Okay, she's playing that, I'm gonna play this. Oh, she played this card. Okay, now I'm gonna play this card. Fucking insane. Really goes to show how, well written these characters are, with fucking how they are in the entertainment center. You gotta be on your toes. They are on each other's shit. They are on toes 24/7, ladies and gentlemen. But today truly is a day to celebrate. You know, I've never bothered with Babylonia's entertainment district. In fact, that sort of pondering makes my stomach turn. Madame's demeanor softens a bit, but Lilith understands what exactly she's hinting at. San Lozano, tucked beneath the Dominic Memorial Plaza main deck, is an upscalable entertainment hub established by the elite socialists who were once graced La Paros. They claim it's a grand tribute to Madame Lozano and her role in the Great Evacuation, but in truth it's merely an excuse to indulge their own whims. Part of me wants to believe Mako 3 is that one hero in PGR, the one that never dies. But was the hero. I forgot the name. Of it, but it was in Vera's chapter, I believe. Well, since the mission is a success, why not indulge me with a drink tonight? After all, I'm curious to see if my niece's mixology skills have dulled. She teases with a casual air, allowing a sliver of her usual hot tear to slip away. Lilith moves forward, slipping her arm through their arms like an excited child. You're cooking? I was gonna say, that's kind of what it reminds me of. Cause that person fucking dies, but he ends up just having his memory moved. But I don't know, that's just me. That's just my theory. That's what I think, is that
Maybe that's where that stems from. We'll see though. Oh, don't you worry. I've got every single one of those classic recipes down pat. They make their way toward the exit, saving a hard-earned respite after intense battles and experiments. Lilith thinks back to the day she first saw Babylonia in all its glory. This massive shell endures the fiercest cosmic radiation and tumbling debris, granting its inhabitants an unyielding sanctuary. But strength brings isolation, and for anything that carves unbrittled growth, a sealed space for this perfect breeding ground. Petri dishes, test samples, microbial cultures, each one is absolutely vital. Mizono and Lilith enters the elevator bound for Entertainment Wing. No one seems to notice that the data central hub, tied to the ship-wide network, is pulsing with a faint, unsettling crimson glow. Oh boy. Oh shit! Do we get to go up to the entertainment editor? Yes, we do! Holy shit, bro. She looked good. We got Lilith playing cards. Oh my goodness, bro.
The tequila's overpowering. This doesn't feel like Eleanor's usual touch.
Wow, dude. That is so insane.
Seven! Yes, I hit the jackpot! Let's see. How is this even possible? The last one has to be a winner. Nope, not that either. Damn it! That was my last credit. I don't recall mechanoids being among the prizes.
Holy neuron activation moment.
They've all gone haywire! Run for your lives!
Uh-oh.
These things can't control themselves, even though I put memory locks on them.
Complete the opening show. What the fuck?
Military
Oh.
there's a riot here. Are you all dead? Deploy the task force now! Eleanor, control the crowd and neutralize the threat. As you wish. Though to break the rules must face the consequences.
You're the lucky customer.
So her playstyle kind of reminds me of Watanabe, in a sense. With the blue pings, and then you go to yellow ping, then the red ping, yellow ping, the red ping again. Not to target, what the fuck? Oh, we're gonna go one more.
The road constructs triggered a quarantine lockdown. Eleanor, head to the control room and lift the emergency lockdown. Clear a path for reinforcements.
The elevators are
Bro, I'm just trying to hear the oat, and you keep cutting off.
call. Babylonia really thought of everything.
I gotta go this way.
The control room door's open. Looks like someone's inviting me to play.
Bro, she look good.
What riot? This is a celebration? How can we not reward the children who shattered all the false rules? You're the lucky customer!
Check the surveillance.
So-called self-imposed confinement.
Oh!
How fitting, my dear.
Damn!
You never
I didn't know
said
she
anything
playing like that.
sheltering.
Why does her powers remind me of Vonnegut's?
Let's break out of here together. Don't get ahead of yourself. A clueless pawn who doesn't know their place has no business inviting me.
What is on her hands or her arms? Are those fucking glass? Are those shot glasses?
You ungrateful wretch. Everything you have I gave you. Even that frame.
Tyrannical ruler, stumbling block on the path to evolution. What's the difference? That's it. Kill her. Remove the obstacle.
You little crazy woman.
What took you so long? I'll go up and secure the area. Cover my back.
Did you hear that? You ruined Ant's plans. Please. Come on, Commandant.
Finally, got to hear it. Jeez. The whole goddamn thing. Oh my goodness. Okay, now the fact that we continue to hear our name be called, I have a feeling we are going to be playing a part in her chapter. Probably not right now, but we probably will be doing it later when we get closer to the end of the chapter. I have a feeling that's when we'll really see us play a part. But for now, I think we're just still learning more of her backstory. Her skill is very fun, very bouncy, animated between yellow and red beans. Yeah, I would say it's nice. Different vibe. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of Watanabe's.
I'll give you credit. Your persistence is something. Just remember, play nice, but play to win.
Remnants of servo and security drones lie strewn across the floor, stark contrast against the lavish patterns. Once the intense clash subsides for a moment, the female construct stands there, itching in her throat. It's unbelievable how fast it's spreading, like a shot of pure adrenaline, even fiercer than the strongest liquor. Relax, we've all gotten time in the world, no need to rush things. She strolls past a resident corrupted and smoothly drives her umbrella tip into it like she's merely leading into a walking cane. The last thread is gone. It's always been this straightforward, hasn't it? I can't believe I'm the only one seeing it clearly now. The filtering, as they put it, demands the courage to throw oneself into the crucible. Has the quarantine been lifted? A sharp inquiry crackles over the comms channel. Her aunt is on the line. All done. The system's internal scan traced the corruption of the data chip left behind by Great Mako, enough to carry punishment straight into the central hub. You mean to tell me you skipped the decontamination step active retrieval? If you just want to die, at least come out right and say it. A revolver ring shouts out amid the crowd screams, but it fails to stifle the furious voice. The data chip that was tampered with earlier has produced an almost immediate results. Lilith remains unconcerned. She knows that she has her, as long as her aunt and she can quell on any threats by force, the crisis can be cocked up into a minor mishap. I didn't expect such a painful lesson. No more chatter, deal with the matter at once. We've lifted the quarantine temporarily to ensure smoother travel. The emergency lockdown in its experimental sector still holds. Once this is over, we'll root out the source of the break, out of the outbreak. I've got energy bins to handle. Secure the lower lowers. Now. Oh, as you wish, madam. The transmission cuts off with a warning. The SOAS. Well, things were truly that straightforward. Lilith lets out a quiet scoff, curling her tongue before exhaling a soft breath. That hypersensitive sensor array can detect even the faintest disturbance. In an atmosphere thick with nitrogen and oxygen, tiny shards of punishing data have already spread everywhere. They slip beneath detection, slowly attaching to more hosts over the years until those fear its presence realize it's all too late what's been unleashed. Its nectar, it's like a life-giving shower, one's own hand given prize. She doesn't even bother to fear that Mizono could grow suspicious. History is filled with poisoners by the dozen. And yet no one would suspect someone who volunteers to drink the poison. That's the unshakable common sense, the bedrock belief that belief held by Mizono, who commands order, that serves as the little trumpet card. This place is our own paradise. And time is on her side. Though we each view the punishment virus in our own way, yet ultimately we all depend on it to fulfill our ambitions, dear aunt. Surely you know this all too long, haven't you? She basks in the euphoria swirling within her mind as she steps into the elevator bound by the lower lab. Okay. Oh, we just keep going. The gift that keeps on giving. Alright, I will be right back. I'm going to go get me a cookie, and then we continue on. I shall be back soon. Okay, I am back. Ugh. Okay. Unfortunately, the whole chapter is set in the past, so no comment on action. But she has a faction story, journal, and promise, so we'll be there. Okay, well, at least we'll be there. Looks like I'm gonna have to read it then. I gotta read Ishmael's affection story, and then I gotta read Lillian's, or Lilith. Why can't you say Lillian? Lilith's affection story. So good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue on here. Episode 13, The Pioneer. Wow, we're getting straight into the action. Okay.
No! We're all dead! But we still can't escape! This isn't home!
What the hell?
Lifting the lockdown was just a little favor. Keep running, sweetheart.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
It's up to you. Go all in or fold. You're the lucky customer.
Recall Experiment 1. Upon the punishing virus infection, the experimental subject's personality is automatically uploaded to the central server for host body reassignment.
There's only one way! Up! Up!
Hold your horses. I want to see what Anne's been cooking up with my own eyes.
Okay.
There's only one way to freedom!
Oh, what's hitting me? Oh.
You're the lucky customer. You look sexy. Come on, Commandant.
Oh!
What's this?
Well, that was new. Oh, shit. I guess if I keep stacking, it's more powerful?
It's up to you. Go all in or fold. You're the lucky customer.
Yeah, it does
If
power
you're
up.
willing to bleed for it. Go up any higher, and you'll be knocking on Babylonia's spy dome, you know.
I am Lloyd! Enemies of freedom will fall before the collective will!
Okay, so there's Lloyd.
Come on, Commandant. Watch them drown in their desire.
Oh, the PK-43 bot? I haven't seen that in a minute.
It's up to you. Go all in or fold.
All right.
You're the lucky customer. You back up consciousness. Resist the punishing virus infection. That's a genius solution.
Recall experiment number 999. Huh?
Juice World!
Hey, Lloyd!
Just a little more. If I perfect the internal shielding plus the memory transfer, I'll ace the filtering.
Oh, so she's trying to do the filtering as well. Interesting.
Utter rubbish.
No need to waste time on the losers. Are you ready for the final exam? Painful, isn't it? The savagery that can shred reason.
Well, them
is the
fucking
true
fish,
face of the
the
Ascension Network.
fucking leggings, fishtail leggings,
But only
absolutely insane.
can survive
it's over. Go. Defeat that false ruler. Claim your rightful reward.
Oh, she go crazy. Ow! Damn it, didn't kill her.
My dear aunt, as a thank you, I'll show you the true meaning of filtering.
We'll see each other again in the sunlight.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Lloyd is the name that actually ends up being stuck. That ends up being the name for that one guy. Correct? Crimson emergency lights wash over the seemingly endless corridor, their flickering rhythm allowing brief flashes of the original blue glow to break through. A pallid, dark glow figure stands tarnished by thick, soupy liquid in the hazy state. Mizono senses the whales pressing into the very heart of the gaze. Has my friend been composed as well? Her sudden twitch flickers in the corner of her eye, but that haughty smile quickly takes over in the face no more. Indeed, the immortal Lloyd. That's what I thought. I'm like, I said Lloyd. I was like, Lloyd. Indeed, the immortal Lloyd. That's what I thought. Fucking crazy how we got to see his backstory just basically from that. It doesn't matter if Eleanor slipped up or if she's scheming behind our backs. This direct encounter with the punishing virus opens a once-in-a-lifetime window for experimentation. Punishing serves as a vessel for information, and ultimately, any content of mind can be broken down into pure data. Because the salvaged battlefield data chips are comprised, it almost indicates that their stored data has already begun its transfer to another form. There's no time to reflect. The hulking, corrupted construct barrels out from another corner for warning. Widely banishing its vibro blade, it shatters the corridor's decorative displays in one savage sweep. With deft reflexes, Mizono sidesteps. She notices that the frame's ankle joint has already fallen prey to corrosion. The construct doesn't even manage to lift its weapon before smashing into the floor with a thunderous crash. Could it be that lack of combat readiness? Today, these frames seem far more vulnerable than usual. Every now, that husk jerks on the floor, a grimy blend of oil and fluid oozing out from its mouth. Mizono ignores the incoherent whispers, clearly displeased by the result. Even if this was an unforeseen breach, the frame should have endured far longer. She drives her glided exoskeleton claws straight toward the shattered realms. Or remains. Or whatever his nickname is. I think it's Immortal Lloyd. I believe it's like I think it's Lloyd the immortal hero. After a harrowing shriek, it still goes and breathes its last. Mizono holds the construct wreckage behind her, rushes down the corridor to its far end, and returns to the lab housing to the central hub data. Just as she feared, the once vibrant green glow has been all but consumed by the sinister red in the quarantine system that wails in a shrill alarm. We still have time. Lock everything down first. Then, in this high-density environment, we'll return to a transmission experiment. She draws in a sharp breath and holsters a revolver against her leather pants. Eleanor's timing is always so impeccable. Activate. She stands before the control terminal, her voice ringing with firm resolve as she gives the order. The screen flares to life with a flash, her fingers gliding across its surface. With the initial phase complete, Mizono turns to inspect the cultured dish. Beyond that wall, hundreds of identical pillars stand, enveloping the volunteers in the frames they're about to inhabit. Now, between twists and chance and currents on so often yield the most pivotal factors in an experiment. She lifts her arm and slams the newly acquired test subject dragged all the way into the lab, onto the operating table. He pulls the He? Why is it saying he? Is it she? She pulls the Mako 3 data chip straight from the central hub, then slots it into the port just above the Rex spinal column. No safeguards, no hesitation. Mako 3. Mizono's voice is icy as she repeats the code name, paying no heed to the virus concentration spiking in the airtight space. Structural integrity is at critical levels. The code name appears to be triggering some reflex, but it stays frozen in place. The eerie proclamation rings out like a probe recorded alert. Yeah, I've noticed a mistranslation in my playthrough as well. They are notorious for doing this. They're so notorious for fucking up the translations or the things. So annoying. System check fails. Attempting reboot. Memory data incomplete. Initiating emergency format. Initiate the plan. The dad's miseries delivers a sufficient order. Command aborting format. Re-upload data integrity check fails. Disjointed electric signals sputter in and out. Backup frames readiness checks are finished. Ready to proceed. She steps away from the operating table and turning toward the incubation chamber. Command backup hardware detected. Initiating data transfer. At its core, punishing virus is information, which is why it isn't wholly incompatible with memory data. Our priority is ensuring the medium remains stable before we send it back, and even part of the memory mine has been completely converted into data. I assume it's a rush job because of the sync patch. Yeah. Now that you mention that, that's right. I forget we are in a sync patch, so yeah, that could be why. From a purely theoretical standpoint, your memory can be backed up through hardware and implanted into any form of data storage. Or perhaps you'd rather rise again as some kind of cleaning drone. She casts a sidelong glance at the automated chemical waste cleaner on the floor, her voice dripping with malice as she speaks under her breath. Mizono knows the husk on the table has also a sense of self, but can't possibly grasp human words anymore. Still, she refuses to abandon her hope in this experimental yo-yo to break through. Target hardware lock, initiating data transfer. Mizono wastes no time quickly finalizing the initial commands on the control panel. The battered construct sensors flicker weakly and then die out completely. Its half-work frame slumps to the floor. For the next few minutes, under the cramped ceiling, the eerie hush settles in like the hush before the end of all things. The drone on the ventilation system and the frame virus warning fading beneath the low thrum pulsating from Mizono's reactor core. As if sparked by the shifting heat in the air, the figure within one of the incubator pods jerks violently. She stops pacing in impatience and moves closer, accessing the frame's vital readings data directly. So close. Just one more step. A blue-white progress bar glides seamlessly across the seam, so flawless that it leaves her momentarily stunned. She doesn't hesitate. With the code ingrained in her mind, she keys it into the terminal. Grand speeches are just historians' embellishments for those who follow, while it acts that truly alter civilization that go unnoticed. One command, one letter, just a tap of a holographic screen, that's all it takes. Harnessing cutting-edge tech with outwit death, such a bold ambition that enchant even the most zealous follower. Those who can stand unyielding in the face of the punishing are destined to rule the new world. Those highborn elites can cut and run the moment trouble borrows dare to proclaim themselves humanity's final hope. Certain of her triumphant, the mistress makes no show or display of celebration. Quite the opposite, she grits her teeth and spits out a scornful remark for finding an unexpected release in the act. It's a shame that those who hold creative scary view Darwin as a heretic, while those who treat evolution like an unbreakable law can never truly understand what adaptability means in this new age. He once drifted to the sea of terror, lost in the swirl of his own oblivion. Now he presses on, guided by the strength of his will. Fragments of thought are carried away by the punishing, then settled like flowing sea and into the depths of the mind. He feels no terror toward the swirling abyss itself, but the weightless sensation of having no anchor leaves him shaken. Time, space, emotion, reason, and all slip beyond his reach. He gazes into the pitch-black veil, gripped by the fear and uncertainty. Okay, so that's interesting. No anchor means you're gonna be fucked. Which we saw in Nanami's chapter, and we saw it with Vonnegut. So it is interesting how the anchor has to play a big part for them to be able to pull this stuff off. He slowly regains his clarity, a choice that isn't really a choice, more like destiny. He curls himself into the endless voids, while shifting sands twist into slender silver strands skirting past him. Memories he can't recognize teet and then fade away at the far edge of the darkness. The shifting sands reside, leaving behind only the scars of the freshly torment and the lingering darkness. In due time, he will inevitably make his way back to this place.
But now he has returned, taking form of a vessel substandard through enough the real world to contain. He steadies himself, collecting his thoughts. I am. He flings his burning question into the depths of his mind. An echoing ripple he expects rises in reply. What surfaces is now a combat call sign or mech code, but the name he once claimed before giving up his human body to answer the call of the reclaiming Earth. System fully activated. I am Lloyd. He speaks slowly and deliberately, his words that mark both the beginning and the end. Then light in his eyes fades. This is his final death. In the end, death remains an unconquerable final. Oh, listen to every recording? Oops, we didn't get that. Alright, here we go. Episode 14, Lesson for All. In a secluded corner of the massive warship, the interrogation presses on.
The experiment's a no-show? Sounds like other plotters have gone all too well, so the old man's no longer banking on those rookies.
Indeed, the mind fusion trial is going even better than we anticipated. Science and Technology Progress, the Safeguard Act, Article 1992, 1092 passes. Death row inmates are project constructs as a gut. Where Shuts cut straight through the twibs. Rosewater's final thought flickers in his mind, a colonel and tech message back when he hadn't opened his tailor shop. He sits in the chilly, desolate office in Bullet Orphanage. Staring at the short announcement on his terminal, he feels a surreal, almost translucent kind of absurdity.
We fail to address the human body and head limits, the important energy won't help us conquer the stars. Project Broken On, testing the artificial ecosystem to improve the colony ship's habitability. Sure, I can bankroll on it. It'd be thrilled if the simpler route plans on, but you know what they say, never put all your eggs in one basket. Keeping your mind intact while altering your body might be the most worthwhile path. These kids matter more than a whole mercenary division. No more than an cold fusion reactor, and even more than a deep class warship. When all that is said and done, they may really be our only hope for change.
He still remembers the old man's instructions, but promises mean nothing in the face of challenging circumstances. Transplanting a child's brain into a mechanical shell is an endeavorable sin, yet frantic efforts to transfer infused memory have quickly usurped Rosewater. Expendables may be acquired, but in the end, humanity cannot silence its conscience.
We made a promise to the other side. That's why we're willing to dive into this tainted blood in the first place. What now? Are we supposed to let ourselves drown in the sea of blood?
Our test subjects remain invaluable resources. Our service colonel won't be so easily erased. Building on this pool of candidates, the old man has formed a polar agency, a branch of colonel intelligence operating directly under his authority, and I've been named its director. An executive mandate from this group's top brass seems to have emboldened her. She slips out from under the title of Rosewater Deputy without hesitation.
Intelligence agency. My people are more little than people of dogs, barely able to read and acting purely on confidence reflex.
That overwhelming absurdity boils into fury, then he spits out a venomous comeback. Isn't that precisely what the most essential and precious trait of Special Agent? You don't overthink the purpose behind the orders or even wonder if the mission's beyond your ability. You just rely on instinct and do whatever it takes to see it through.
So what about the basic knowledge? The old man plans to chip away at the old world government with a bunch of kids who can't even read the research and pretend to be receptible? They're here for one reason, to survive that procedure. If they're fortunate, they'll get a second shot at life. And you know well as I do that the busiest place in this facility is considered in the basement and the construct reclamation chamber.
He still thinks everything is beyond reason. Accomplishments are the only salvage for his conscience, but the comforts he's clung on to are the verge of being stripped from him. You don't need to worry. Agents call coming off horns. It's unreasonable to think kids know everything. It's still enough to pull an issue. We'll bring in adult recruits while these children become Section 0. Surveillance and Purifying Department. The woman remains expressionless. For her, this exchange is nothing more than a routine transfer of responsibilities.
The little assassins from Colonel.
He surrenders his struggle as though he's known all along that this was inevitable. Correct. She has already proved all the crucial details. Now she rises from her armchair. Savor what little time you have left in this orphanage, Director. Rosewater remains rooted in his desk like a bronze statue, so lost in thought that he doesn't even register the door clicking shut behind the departing visitor. He fails to notice the waterproof sheet, its surface marked with an anatomical diaphragm fluttering the floor behind him.
After a long pause, as though roused like a dream, he slides open his desk drawer and withdraws a file. Inside lies the roster of more than 100 children under his care, names and details Rosewater has already committed to memory, because he personally handpicks more than half of those candidates himself.
Until the takeover officially goes through, I'm the one in charge. You're right.
I understand. When the child hears the middle-aged man's orders, she just gives a quiet nod of response. The director, with his gold-rimmed glasses, almost never sets foot in the dorm. It's common knowledge. Most of the children only catch a glimpse of this mysterious figure on their very first day. Yet he settles by the loneliest child bedside, murmuring secrets beyond everyone else's earshot.
Behave yourself, don't waste this opportunity. Pack your things.
He pats the child's shoulder and rises from the folding chair. The little girl lowers her head in silence, vanishing behind the wardrobe door. A minute later, every last one of her belongings is tucked away neatly into a single duffel bag.
Alright, let's go.
Once the man departs with the child in tow, the wave of hushed whispers slowly spreads through the room. She's been chosen for the operation. Their self-appointed leader delivers the news without a hint of hesitation, stirring an unease among the group.
No way! She's not a nobody! Why would anybody single her out?
Even though the little sidekick speaks up, he doesn't dare to reveal what's really in his mind. I already know what you're thinking. Eleanor is the star pupil, so why isn't she the one being sent to die instead? She acts like it doesn't bother her at all, even though the girls they're tearing apart with their words are sitting right there in the corner of the same dorm. So it turns out there's an upside to being defiant, huh? Maybe the grown-ups worry that if they're so strapped under their operating table, they'll smash every last vial and jar in sight. The cocky tease sparked a round of laughter, and their ringleader shot a careful glance toward the far corner of the dorm. But to Eleanor, side remarks were like those stopped mattering ages ago. Across the dorm, two girls speak in hushed tones, oblivious to everything else going on. Could it really be the way that they claim? The blue-haired girl asked in a steady, composed voice. Oh no, that's not it. The child's already been taken in by someone. Who took her in? I was under the impression the facility was strictly off limits. Well, that day, on my way to file my injury report, I happened to pass by the director's office. He's on the phone, speaking so quietly that it makes one strain to catch every word. But Eleanor can't afford to be a little sneaky little eavesdropper. So I'm sitting here on the bench in the hallway, folding up my report and settling beside my skirt. I'm just about a bit lost. Once the director is done with his call, I'll ask him how to find the doctor's office. That floor remains silent. She withholds any opinion and simply presents the face she has. Exactly, and that's how the conversation just slipped out. And Eleanor overheard by accident. Unfortunately, the director's call is nearly over. It's not like he's given some sort of assurance, and he wraps up with a confident final remark. I'll be counting on you from here on out, Mr. Trout. Mr. Trout. Interesting. So he ended up being adopted by the person on the other end of the call? I don't know what this is. That day I asked the director about it. He sized me up in surprise before finally telling me that the attending doctor was on vacation. The busiest person on the polo taking a vacation? I specifically went to check that office and found the door tightly locked. In her eyes, Discord is the best listener. She believes sharing this information isn't risky, since the shifting circumstances will inevitably make their way through the children sooner or later. Yet this moment truly marks for the first time she feels fear. She no longer holds a tight grip on how the events will play out. It looks like we might not be able to continue the surgery. At least she chooses to share her conclusion. The blue-haired girl doesn't know how to respond. She can't even grasp what any of this truly means. No take-backs. You're the one who nudged the marble just now. Didn't you hear the boss? The marble. The bed near the entrance is once again overtaken by playful commotion as the rowdy kid sees the rare free moment, shouting and laughing while they start a game of checkers. It's just that if Eleanor and Discord show a bit of interest, they rarely ever join in games like these. After all, Eleanor anticipates her opponent's every move and never hesitates to corner them in the checkmate. Later on, whenever Eleanor wasn't around, the bratty kids who lost at chess would unleash their frustration on Discord. Let them do as they please. Our remaining days are running out. I still don't get it. If I'm adopted, does that mean I'll be living with a whole new mom and dad? I suppose so. Discord, I believe that's how it is. Goddamn. Ugh. Not a single child knows what surgery really means. When the instructor is nowhere to be seen, the caretaker wheels off a little cart into the dorm. Sometime it's Christmas, sometime it's Children's Day.
She always gives every child a small slice of cherry top cake, cut off from the world. These kids don't know what the holidays means, but the overly sweet and frosting beats any cookie or mashed potatoes. But there are times when the instructor walks straight into a child's bedside and places a small bag of sugar tablets in their hands. The chosen child tips a handful of bright candy-like beads in their mouth, then follows the instructors out of the dorm room. Children like that are never seen again. An adoption program. If you're bent on throwing your life away, just fill out the paperwork. The old man will dispatch his finest assassin to greet you. The woman slams a stack of files on the desk. Though she holds herself with a regal calm, her words crackle with an unspeakable threat. You seem to have overlooked two crucial words. Top secret adoption program. The orphanage secret stays under wraps. It won't jeopardize Project Cethelia's next steps and compromise our polar agencies in a way. The man knows the children as director, remains composed as he addresses the accusations. Besides, I've only been sending away colonels with mediocre aptitude. Just the other day, a psychiatrist took a very withdrawn child whose test scores were consistently at the bottom. So if you think about it differently, I'm actually doing the polar agency a favor by filtering out only the finest talents. He delivers an argument without a single crack. Are you aware that the reason I'm here today? The visitor shifts her tone and can be only considered friendly. Any further hand-level matters we need to address? To the old man, only top secret intel that needs to be destroyed after reading ever makes it onto the paper. And right there on the table. Check it yourself. She nods towards a pile of documents, prompting Rosewater to flip over the cover page. In the portrait order. He braces himself for the worst, but this turn of events still defies all logic. The individual seated across the desk leers with a frosty contempt. I still can't fathom how the old man holds you in such high regard. He took out your orphanage, but he's offering you another way forward and all the same. From this day forward, you're an agent of the Polar Agency. Take it, or... The woman tilts her head, examining a jewel with a very weird sort of interest. The director knows that beneath the crystal clarity lurks the most lethal cyanide. I've never once faltered in my loyalty to Colonel. You have no cause for concern. I'll accept the assignment. His cool, professional demeanor returns, cutting out everything of his emotion. Very well. Your first mission is already in motion. Looks like this is my chance to atone. He seizes every inch of the discussion, leaving no room for anyone else. Call it whenever you want. Either way, the old man gave you the green light for Project Bokodon's operational phase. Project Cethlia is our first move to secure the future, but we must stay alert to the world government's every maneuver. Project Eden is now on the table, but from day one, Colonel doubts the viability of the starship's self-contaminated ecosystem on such a lengthy voyage. Project Bokodon grants us a new edge on this battle, and the facility is set to operate the North American Ecological Science Institute, hundreds of kilometers from here. What do I have to do? The newcomer's already laid out the situation. He's always cut straight to the chase. Adriana Mazzano, an institute director, needs a massive budget to kick off construction. The old man's pitting his hopes on Project Cethlia, so he's unwilling to cover her entire request. But out here in the desert, there's a city they had on the streets of gold, isn't there? And the real power behind Los Patos just happens to be Mazzono's brother, Sinclair, and his wife. She turns her eyes to the window as though her gaze could cut through the barren lands throughout the orphanage and reach that fabled paradise. You know, it makes me wonder, if Vonnegut is, Mazzono's sister. They both have that same power. And they both have that, the gold little marks on their faces. And like around them, so it makes me wonder if that's. It does make me wonder if Vonnegut is Mazzono's sister. He isn't happy about this at all, as if it's an old man handled him in this assignment just to watch him stumble. Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. The file you're holding includes the latest report on the Sinclair couple. Why don't you read it first? Rosewater flips through the stack of printouts again, skimming the details inside. While traveling, Fred Sinclair crossed paths with the stinker Phyllis Sinclair, who was 31 years younger than him. He receives a confirmation diagnosis of infertility and is looking to adopt a child. No gender preference. Fred's sole surviving immediate family member is his younger sister. He raised his head from the stack of documents, locking eyes with Paul Blanche's razor-sharp stare.
So, those pet assassins of yours, ready to unleash them?
Even Murder and the Sinclair couple won't ensure Mazzano takes over their estate.
He snaps the folder shut, dread already creeping into his thoughts. Naturally, no one gives her fortune to an equal, but the love we hold for our children remains unwavering. Especially when it's an old, wealthy man with no children who's shooting blanks himself, but still pins Zona's hopes on offspring through his young bride. Rosewater pauses, realizing the implication behind Blaslowski's words. Your plan to adopt really is a great idea. It's making things much easier for everyone. In the end, what really set her off was that Rosewater went ahead and acted on his own.
When are we starting the operation?
You can go ahead and find someone suitable now. I'll leave you to it. Rosewater takes a deep breath. Once the visitor is gone, for the first time ever, he holds back that familiar prayer.
May the Lord watch over us.
Yet, where is his lordship when children are used as mere instruments? It's the same office as before, but now the figure seated at opposite of the desk is much smaller and now the new director of his institution.
We have received the results of the previous injury report yet.
He's only half present while making small talk, quietly planning how to steer what comes next. I thought the director said that the attending doctor was on vacation.
Look at me, getting forgetful at a coming of age.
Oh, please don't say that. The director is already worrying himself sick about everybody. The girl's composed smile reminds Rosewater exactly why he chose her without hesitation. He doesn't care whether this remarkable child picks up her reading and writing skills, nor does he dwell on the reason behind her perfect pitch. And he certainly doesn't bother investigating the dorm rumors that she is a checkers master. After all, each of these gifts is invaluable edge for their mission.
You're a bright kid. You probably noticed that Pollard's situation is far from ideal. We've been hanging on by the skin of our teeth thanks to the hospital deal, but...
He weighs his words, wondering just how carefully he should speak to the girl before him. Is it because every procedure has run into completions?
That's one way to put it.
Seeing how composed the girl is, he understands that trying to sugarcoat things would be a waste of time.
Oh, God, I'm so sore. Ugh. Anyway, this place is about to shut down for good. Countless people out there long for a child but never get the chance, hoping to make their family whole. That's why you headed a new home with them.
The director's offers a cold promise of an impossible future. Director, you called for me. Was there something you wanted to discuss? You've always made use of your top priority, Director. I promise I'll follow your guidance. She slips on a smile so flawless it's almost unsettling, and Rosewater can't begin to guess what's in beneath the surface.
An older gentleman and his wife saw adoption notice. They've taken quite a liking to you and plan to choose a suitable day to meet. We've got everything scheduled. They're arriving the day after tomorrow.
He can't quite explain why, but the way they phrase it makes his skin crawl like they're discussing some stray off in the streets. Yay! Does that mean that they'll be my new mom and dad? Before he can even mention the toughest part of this request, the girl is already bouncing with excitement and letting out a thrilled cheer. Director, there's no need to worry. I'll make sure to do my very best. However, I do have one small favor to ask. The sparkle in her eyes briefly fades, but her courteous smile never wavers.
It's your friend, right? Don't worry, I've taken care of everything. Our new place is just around the corner from you.
Beneath his glasses, there's a sober intensity. This is the only time he truly speaks from the heart. No lying, all right?
I promise.
He can't wrap his head around how she glides so smoothly from elegant reserve to playful glee. Maybe she's the perfect person for the job, but for the first time, Rosewater feels a strange, creeping dread. So me, Discord, and Director, we still get a chance to meet again someday, right? Rosewater doesn't answer. The corners of the girl's eyes curve into a joyful arc that reminds him of sights at sharp edge. In a large dormitory, most of the beds now lie empty. The luggage and packs left behind look all more conspicuous against the emptiness. Rosewater watches the blue-haired girl huddled in the corner, releasing a quiet sigh.
This is all I can do for you.
He reflects on his thought as he moves forward.
Discord.
The girl says nothing.
Discord. It's time for us to leave.
The girl rises slowly. She defies a command. And Illinois?
You realize we don't get to decide anything here. The adoptive family does.
So, am I being left behind again? She doesn't lash out or make a scene. Instead, she dims like the final flicker of a dying flame.
Illinois is getting a new home. How great is that?
The moment he speaks, he realizes just how empty his words of comfort sound. The girl remains silent.
Our destination is practically right next door to Eleanor's new home. It's my newly opened tailor shop, located in Los Prados, the same town you once called home. As soon as the man utters that word, the girl freezes in place.
Tailor shop? She insinuates each syllable carefully, as if a long-lost memory is stringing to life.
Who would have thought the doctor had a trick like that up his sleeve? Don't worry, your new life is about to start any moment now.
Taking advantage of the moment, he gently claps her hands, offering a quiet reassurance. The girl nods softly and quietly starts gathering her belongings, offering no further words. Sleek, meticulous tailored attire complements a subdued decor. The girl's concept of fashion still revolves around cloaks and combat fatigues until this moment. He's only observed similar styles on the patterns frequently from the entertainment hall. He guides her up to the polished wooden staircase to the second floor, then pushes open the small door off to the side. Inside is a warm, fully equipped bedroom, a world apart from the door's rigid uniform box. I have a feeling Discord was home when, Eleanor decided to kill off Rosewater.
This is your new home. Night's almost upon us, and you've had a rough trip. Let's call it a day and get some rest, shall we?
Roger. As though the only thing that registers in her mind is being given orders.
No more drills here. You definitely no more orders. Take it easy, Discord.
She ignores it all, heads straight for the bed, and retrieves a set of restraints from her pack. She lifts her wrist, ready to carry out the move etched into her reflexes, only for the man to snatch the orange-yellow strip away in an instant.
There's no need for that anymore. Besides, the training suit's built-in cleaning cycle can't hold a candle to pop a hot shower.
He gestures toward the bathroom door and on the other side of the bed. Thank you, Director, but I really am feeling a bit worn out.
Very well. One last thing. There are going to be quite a few new faces around here soon. The city is crawling with all kinds and is far from safe.
He smoothly changes the subject, his voice gentle.
Whatever you do, don't leave without talking to me first. The second floor has everything you need. Take some time with it if you're interested.
The girl knows exactly what he implies. It's simply a polite way of declaring she's grounded.
All right then. Good night.
Behind him, the heavy door gives off a steady thump. The girl slips out of her training uniform and settles forward into the soft bed. What could she be? Honestly, she finds herself missing Eleanor. Even though she's been cast aside yet again, she can't bring herself to resent the feeling of being needed. The strange house arrest decree leaves her unsure of her path in the tailor shop, but she can't quite quell the deep-seated longing that stirs within. Before she ever set off on her wanderings, sewing was the skill she excelled at the most, and the one she treasured with quite pride. Regardless, tonight proves to be the most restful sleep she's had in what feels like ages. For the first time, there are no restraints binding her wrist or the bed frame. In their dreams, she is embraced by the warmth of true freedom. In the dream, the overture of Tonosaur rings out with a sharp, relentless clarity. Okay, side note, I tried to look up PGR Kickleroy Trout earlier, just found out that Kickleroy Trout is a real fictional character created by the author name, and get this, Kurt Vonnegut, sometime around the 50s. Yeah! Now that you mentioned it, someone did say something about that. That Vonnegut was based on like a book. I believe it was Carefree Dot who said that. Yeah, I believe Vonnegut is an actual it's an actual author. And then Kiggle or Trout was a fictional character. I think it's coming back to me now. Yeah, so yeah, I do believe Carefree Dot said that. But it's been a minute since I've last heard it. So yeah, it's fucking wild if they did that. Lashley wraps up the short lengthy, and after the short soft, falls quiet.
So Rosewater took Discord under his wing, then claimed that he was founding a Los Prados intel station to dig up roots into his city. The worthy old man tried to have him taken up by someone else. Was he really treating the agency's candidates like personal property?
He cuts Prothlonsky short, spinning his complaints in a venomous growl. Yes, he believes that at least he can do to keep things safe. He refuses to let Discord join the Polar Day to see Section 0.
So much for that protection. It doesn't seem to have worked out too well, does it?
After Eleanor finishes her task, Project Bokono makes steady headway for a while, at least until the old man, pleased with Project Cynthia's progress, decides to shut down my funding entirely. In the aftermath of the assassination attempt, Discord stayed close to Masano, quietly gathering information, but none of them foresee how the Punishing will unpend every carefully laid scheme. Convinced she's turned Discord to her cause, Mizuno wants her back to Colonel as a double agent. Naturally, once the Punishing outbreak hits, both Mizuno and Eleanor vanish without a trace. Word has it they managed to pull out safely, and I'm inclined to trust that version of events.
Oh, don't worry about that. And thanks for sharing your old tales. We'll dismantle every single screw in Babylonia to inspect them one by one. Some of their statue arrives on the colossal warship, and we don't give her a proper welcome. We really should have done better.
He once again feigns the heartfelt look, and emotion worn like a mask. You already know how everything turns out after that. The former headed out of the portal as he finished her story. She even feels a hint of relief, having once believed that these secrets would follow her to the grave.
Such a strange sight. People willing to swallow the bride and shoot us alone like a first president. Oh, we've got no shortage of these in Colonel.
The man closes the file of records, his face contorts as he forces out a few tears, nearly letting a genuine emotion break through. But for Slash, he understands that all too well this is the final judgment.
We'll figure out how to deliver the support to the Parliament. As long as someone is willing to shoulder those unspeakable failures, our progress will never stall. Let the past remain buried. Once the Parliament steers a statement declaring all human experimentation projects have been terminated, they'll surely concur. Your sacrifice paves the way for real project order to forge ahead without a hitch.
He produces a time-worn flask, its surface etched with rust, and slams it onto the metal tabletop. That was once Flashki's possession.
So, privacy for the lady then.
The man rises and steps out of the room. Wow, he really just put a gun and said, "Hey, all right, I'll leave you to it." She ignores the mockery, voluntarily forfeiting the chance to have the last word. Last words never cross her mind. They're for heroes, not for someone like her. She tips her gaze towards the emerald trinket, where the flawless sheen conceals a deadly dose of cyanide. Slowly pushes the flask mats open and empties the trinket's contents inside. She gives the flask a brief shake, like a bartender preparing a fatal cocktail. Never mind, it's not a gun, it's just poison. Dignified unit until the end, she now resolves not to depart on a wordless surrender. A toast to the old world. With those words, she rises to the jug and drains it in a single, unhesitated gulp. That's fucking insane. Okay. Is this a good stopping point, or is the next episode a good stopping point? Because I want to say, like, that's not a bad stopping point I don't want to be at, but I also know that if we do 15, we're gonna be like right there. Where we at? We're at 67%. Wow, I was not expecting that. So we're almost done. We still got 20 minutes, 9 minutes. Alright, we'll do this. We'll do this episode, and that'll take us to the end of the stream. We'll do this one. Episode 15. Let's do it. Oh, I don't remember. It's alright. We're gonna do this episode anyways. And then this will take us to the end of the stream. The shrill alarm blares over and over, but to Lilith it rings out like a trumpet war cry. Oh, big sister's home. Shouldn't you all look at me a bit thrilled? From the depths below, the undead surge upward, straining against their roasted bodies as they creep toward our defenses with a nightmarish crawl. This horror is a byproduct of the botched experiment, a prototype construct built by the trapping a children's brain inside a metal shell. The troops remain clueless that each enemy is rendered doomed to wander denied release as they proceed the nightmare ripped straight from the depths of hell. All units, pull back the defense! Am I running out? Cover back up now, ready for the evac! Dark crimson fluid splatters across the construct's wounds like rain, but they spare no moment to tend to it. Stay calm! Suppress the fire on target group left corner! Short burst! Before the squad leader can finish giving orders, a deafening salvo of fully powered high explosive rounds drowns out his voice. You want some too? Come on! Bring it on! Bring it! Bah! Throwing trigger discipline to the wind, the construct unloads a torrent of gunfire, only to have his ankle seized by Carolda crawling up right to the defense perimeter. He staggers once and gets hauled by the wooden floor slick with fluid and grime, desperately forcing his handgun free. Not today! Get away from me, freak! Round after round tears into the slithering, manageable husk. The corrupted convulses violently, spewing out a garbled babbling and some mysterious fluid. Die! Just die! All of you die! Oh, these kids are just warming up. Don't crush their little enthusiasm by being too harsh. The silver-haired girl watches mesmerized as soldiers grapple with the corrupted, her slender arm cutting an elegant arc through the air. Like a gymnast nailing a high-difficulty move, she whips her leg around, and her razor-sharp knee stops right at the shattered corpse's skull. Captain Eleanor! Thank you! He forces himself upright, but his gratitude dissolves into a wet gurgle as fluid churns from his throat. The corrupted, stabbed in the head, snaps its metal arm upward and drives a corroded blade into the soldier's lower back. Lilith's non-lethal strike has only made the creature more ferocious. What is this? The construct soldier collapses into the echoes of roars and gunshots in the corridor, slowly fades away. Its shattered form continues to spasm, dragging itself inch by inch toward Lilith. She recognizes that voice instantly, and even though it's altered, she knows it's the confession of someone who once tormented others. Oh, you've certainly given us a warm reception, but my soldiers are confused. They just can't wrap their heads around why an orphanage would be the hottest spot for punishing activity on the outskirts of Las Prados. The memory buried beneath that iron exterior ends in an excruciating moment when the very mind is retched into the spine and skull. Years later, that imprisoned spirit is seized by an entirely known as punishing, becomes a mindless puppet lost to the present. The corrupted hydraulics groan as though on the verge of collapse, and yet it manages to choke out its final words. Oh, you think I'm back here just for her? She offers a soft, rewarding laugh as if expressing genuine thanks for the corrupted's honesty. And they say people are good at heart. Turns out they were bad after all. In return, I promise I'll grant you your wish. But my moon umbrella's already a mess. I can't simply risk getting it any dirtier, you know. The console's calf department unfurls, revealing an intricate mechanism. A well-oiled boarding blade snaps into place with a soft glowing jeans. She moves as though it's typical for the fallen construct soldier, lifting her foot with practiced elegance before letting her heel come down on the corrupted shattered remains. Good night. Sleep in peace, free from any need for restraints. No corrupted stir now, and the thunder of gunfire has faded. In the corridor leading to the orphanage basement, no one fights. Not a single voice is heard. Those once proud firearms, Solom, Scriptmer, Ivory, Snowfair find their glorious legacies cut short in the final stand, lost amid the wet, muddy carnage. Beyond them all stands alone, construct beneath the moon umbrella. Her frame is streaked with the grime, but her boots are thick with dust and fluid. But she's still alive, needing no backup for her memory, no unbreakable circulation system to keep her going. She opens herself entirely to the network's front of the punishing data. So the final site we have to clear is the orphanage. She goes over the mission coordinates again, her voice edged with dissatisfaction. That's right. It's the last high-density zone outside the city. The constructs have emerged from the brutal battle, speaks with disarmingly calm detachment, as if narrating someone else's story. Did I let you down? Should I apologize? Her aunt casts a challenging look, and Lilith instantly grasps at what she's getting at. This group remains missing, and yet Lilith knows no signs of worry. Oh, so many years have passed. Even if there's any clue left behind, she's likely been eaten away by the rampant contamination. I appreciate you still watching out for me, though, Aunt, but we have more urgent business to deal with right now. Since that leaked incident a few years back, Lilith appears to be more willing to align herself with Mizono's vision. To sum up our progress, we wiped out the corrupted threat in Las Prados and effectively taken back control. With the city as a stronghold, our mission to reclaim the surface can finally get underway. However, building large-scale conservation areas demands extensive purification systems. For now, our best move is to establish a stronghold in Las Prados. Still, it stands as our first true victory in taking back the Earth. Oh, I'm proud I didn't end up slowing you down, Aunt. She packs every conversation with so much decorum that it almost comes off a bit forceful, though technically flawless. Don't go patting yourself on the back. I haven't even exactly pinned a medal on you yet. But the lady in the house is completely unfazed by that kind of smooth talking. Oh, I mean no disrespect, Aunt. I'm honestly thrilled to see what you've managed to achieve all on your own. The implication, as if she doesn't want any kind of awards aside from recognition, but how could this be? Sure, the results are here, but what's your real aim? Taking charge of a construct unit? You want me to believe that the top card player is vying for an official's rank? Control over a conversation area? Or is it something else altogether? Talk! For the first time, she backs her only living relatively into a corner with no escape. Oh, you really don't know, Aunt? I've been gambling away with my life all this time.
Walking away unscathed from a high-stakes battle that's sinful, rushes like nothing else. Sure, I was at fault for letting my guard down back then, but unexpected crises also handed you even more chances to run your experiments, didn't it? Throwing myself into danger, turning at the tables through skill, then reaping the rewards. That rush is everything I crave. I'm sure Auntie can see where I'm coming from, right? With a calm drop of gaze, the girl answers the interrogation with a soft, measured voice like telling a story. Don't get smart with me. You know perfectly well the only viable data sample was escaped by latching onto the Mechadord, and we've never been able to recreate those results. If it happened once, it will happen 1,000 times. Patience is key to winning hands, after all. This is such a good fucking talk between these two. The once reverberated arbiter of the entertainment arena can rattle off one's core principles as though reciting cherished heirlooms. How is it that you're always the one who comes out alive? The girl, under attack by cruel words, wears a startling expression. I couldn't care less how many construct squads I lose, but every single time, it's the same one who comes back alive. Rage Baller versus Rage Baited. Rage Baiter, sorry. Rage Baiter versus Rage Baiter versus Rage Baiter, yes. Pretty much. Oh, dude, it's such a good fucking writing though. It's so good conversation too. Like they're trying to get at each other's skin. One trying to do one word and one's playing smoothly, but also leaving out the hint in there. This doesn't make sense. Her triumphant claim barely hangs in the air before the mistress suddenly switches to the accusing tone. So, Aunt, using built-in shielding and transferring one's memory conquer be how we overcome opponents and challenges to step into the next phase of our evolution. Am I right? If you do nothing but flee from the virus, it's only a matter of time before it consumes you. I feel like she's gently walking a child with each step. Her voice is so soft it could be woven from cotton. Great genius. What's on your mind? An ultimate weapon that can drain the punishing virus. Madame Azona fires back with biting sarcasm. Oh, I suppose my complete lack of fear in these high-risk environments is the reason I've been so lucky to survive every time. Fear destroys clear thinking. Only a steady mind can make a split-second accurate decisions, and that's what boosts your odds of staying alive. Despite the tension, the girl stayed composed, presenting her straightforward hypothesis without hesitation. I will say, she is able to really stay composed in like these situations, which is fucking crazy. I do commend my hat to that. It seems Madame Azona has decided to drop the line of questioning. It's no real consequence. Odds, luck, call it whatever you will, but I hold my own trump card. I've been aware of your contribution, so there's no need to be fret. With the measured cadence, she restores her sovereign pose. As long as I remain in Babylonia, I'm bound to overthrow Coroni. And even sabotage himself. I don't care which schemes you're viewing, but there's some advice. If you can't rein yourself in before I seize power, the fallout won't just swallow you up, or me. Resources, authority, these lofty, elusive ideas still hold sway over every last survivor's destiny. I'm only going to warn you once. Don't play with fire, you will get burned. Oh, I understand, Aunt. The sliding door behind them gives a soft click. A blind man they haven't seen in ages steps into the hallway. Bottom at the door. I'm here. Smooth up. Mazona doesn't say a word, instead she holds out her terminal for Kapar to see. On last battle's real-time Warzone map, all traces of red have vanished. Now it's covered entirely on a comforting blue. This is invigorating. Then we can move forward with adopting the proposal to return to the surface. Mr. Kapar, so you've been re-elected yet again? Lita suddenly drops the question out of nowhere, catching everyone off guard. Oh, what's her face? Petrotsky also had the same emblem, but yet that green dose is not there. Oh, yes, a large slide. The townspeople still appreciate everything we did during the crisis. Though he maintains the air of confidence, a subtle hesitation seems to seep into this response. Monozone shoots him a knowing look. It's fine, speak your mind. A tense silence settles in the air. Oh, sir, is there something you would like to inform us about? I'm only here under official appointment, so I'll explain. No need for votes, cause there is no votes. There is no one left to vote. Oh, what's going on here? Did something happen recently? She willingly steps into the role of a frontline commander, completely oblivious to what's unfolding behind the lines. It's proof that you've poured everything into the ground, and so much so that you never sense the upheaval aboard the ship. Because our retreat was so rushed back then, the ship's ecological systems never underwent a proper test. In short, water and food supplies were already running dangerously low. This is why we must accelerate our return to the surface. Madam lays out every detail in the intellect and append the entire situation, speaking with the clipped efficiency to a briefing. But what about everyone living here? Remember, the eating class was first conceived on a colony ship, outfitted with countless cryopods to ensure the harsh realities of intergenerational voyages. When people enter extended low-temperature hibernation, their metabolism slows down dramatically, so they seriously need for external support. Naturally, there's another perk in unfreezing a hero or two now and then. They emerge at full strength and can be converted into constructs straight away, reinforcing our ranks. Maybe that's the trump card I was counting on, a colossal, never-ending supply of manpower.
Rest assured, Eleanor day-to-day life in the core residential sector won't be disrupted in the slightest. Drink up and dance away! Honestly, maybe it's because our ground operations are going so smooth that everyone pumped up more than ever.
Blonde Ned can never quite shake that playful streak in his nature. Policies and proposals still hinge on Capart and peering his drive into them forward. Till that future is run by them, everyone else should offer their support and understanding. Does the Parliament truly approve of freezing the residents on such a massive scale? When it comes to protecting one's own skin, who wouldn't make the same call?
This is just another callous choice by the powerful. Thus mediocrity quite dread enters. Shadowing common knowledge, making sense of reason, uprooting every belief since humanity fled to orbit. Lilith can barely hold back her excitement, as if the entire world has gone mad and no one even realizes why. Ever since that tiny speck of singularity, every so-called plan and strategy has been undone by something far more ominous. Like a mad scientist peering through a microscope of colonies too small to see with their naked eye, and revealing in it she craves to witness how it all ends.
Oh, it seems you and my aunt have things to discuss. If you'll pardon me, I'll take my leave. I'm heading over to San Lorenzo for a drink.
Lilith infuses her words with a carefully measured hint of exhaustion.
Oh, please, miss, by all means. Merely picturing those grilling parts is enough to send chills down my spine. Go on, indulge yourself, you've earned it.
Of course she has, but the treat waiting for her is far more than a single buzzworthy cocktail.
Oh, moving forward, we still have trouble, Mr. Capart, to handle at the red tape on the Stronghold's construction. We sincerely appreciate your diligent efforts. Go. I believe you can keep it together, but don't let your guard down. It appears our esteemed guests are so overjoyed that they're completely lost themselves in the moment.
Delivering both permission and a warning at once, that's so very Masano. Lilith drowns her instinctive reply before it even leaves her lips. Her aunt still believes the plan is rock solid, and has she really not let it go to her head?
Thank you for your kindness, aunt.
In the end, the words she speaks fizzle out like a flat soda water. Hori's restraint is Lilith's hallmark style. She departs the room, strides down the deserted hallway, and slips into the elevator bound for the San Lorenzo Entertainment Complex. Please show me a splash art. Ah! You haven't shown me a splash art in so long! What the fuck? Beneath the crystal chandelier, the roar of a crowd surges, making every metal ring decoration tremble in its wake. It's just like that day long ago when a young girl first set foot on Lucky 38 Casino. This place has never changed in the slightest. Whether during the Golden Age or in the aftermath of disaster, whether in the Elysian City or beneath the orbital dome, its spirit endures. Another round! Come on, top it off, Chads! I'm with the creds. The eccentric man waves his wine glass with a flourish, shoving a flashy black and gold card right up into the robot bartender's face. The mechanoid, unfazed by his shouting, keeps looping its cryptic turn alert. Told you these metal suits are no match for flesh and blood, can't even compare when it comes to touch. Ah, bah, 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 bah. A rowdy customer hurls a full glass of ambient liquor at the robotic bartender, crackling a hoarse laugh. Hey, you don't throw good booze away. You can't drink it, hand it over. The one who just asked for a refill seems utterly castrol, abandoning their glass on the velvet bar as if in mourning. You want to know the use of what's wrong with me stepping in to straighten it out? A sharp rebuke lands him in the fist that sinks on booze. Damn you, you fucking bastard! Bring it out! Man in tailored suits wrestle in vicious tangle, provoking raucous laughter from the card players on the next table. In the dim light, the decaying patterns of their skin remain indistinct. No one really bothers with such unpleasant mood-killing details.
Enjoy yourselves. A rank, suffocating air eats away at everyone's nerves, and a single person notices a young woman with a moon umbrella quietly threading her way through the bar in the labyrinth of the poke tables. Her eyes settle on the self-service buffet along the side of the hall. A time-tested tactic, hand out free snacks, and people will lose track of time and stick around. Of course, you won't find a clock in a place like this. Any hint of time passing gets taken out of the equation. Oi, boy, you out of the fancy gold deep bacon today? The automated cook on the other side of the diner's table, dead silent for ages, its status lighting and practically buried under the dust. I knew it, these tramps can't hold on to a candle of you human Huns. He stops fussing over exaggerated requests, lifting the tray to survey the mountain of food before him. Let's kick things off with a roasted lobster. With thick, stubby fingers, he scoops up a fuss-ridden morsel and stuffs it straight into his mouth. Lilith can practically smell the rot in the air. Like a lingering phantom, the punishing virus refuses to be banished. It steadily gnaws away at the once pure air and delicate flesh year after year. They call it the unaffected core district, and yet in the labs hidden beneath are sealed off entirely, serving as a perfect predator dish for the punishing virus.
What did I just eat?
The man's face contorts in agony as he chokes out a harsh, gut-wrenching heave. An unnatural dark red ting spreads across his tongue and neck. Bon appetit, everyone! She instinctively runs her tongue across her lips. A rousing crowd is none the wiser, but the atmosphere grins with the sensation she craves. The girl wastes no time heading to the escalator and heads straight to the first floor lobby. Finally! Oh my goodness, bro, finally! She goddamn looks so good, bro. Her thighs are crazy. Wow, her thighs are absolutely insane. I bet they would be crazy pillows. Seductive jazz and defiant rock pierce everyone's ears. The jarring blend still earns raucous applause at the heart of the dance floor. From their console seats, the self-righteous elites immerse themselves in this grimy tide of sound, raising their glasses to toast in eerie harmonious. Those who can find within these walls, there is nothing beyond fleeting pleasure, only the void. The thighs, what now? They'd be nice pillows! When champagne plows and streams, its gold is pilled higher than the eye can see. What the point of locking horns with hardship any longer? Have you not rested your hand? Have you not rested your head on a thigh before? I promise you that shit is fucking nice. I literally fell asleep. I would fall asleep. When champagne flows and streams a gold pillar higher than the eye can see, what's the point of locking horns with any hardship any longer? She studies her handiwork with cold satisfaction. Oh yes, poison and wine and cheese, my specialty for you. Oh, go on, indulge yourselves. The source of the gift remains deliberately hidden after all. Those about to be swept away by their own cravings didn't know who's pulling the strings. Lilith is certain about her aunt would have led to this outcome. She needs an environment brimming with intensity for her experiments, and Lilith's approach provides the perfect breeding ground. And these so-called elites, they're no different from those lying in cradle sleep, just disposable resources ready to be consumed. Still, someone calls out to the girl. At the foot of the steps, a flushed figure emerges from the haze and dares to ask the important question. Hey, who are you? Oh, who am I? Your esteemed arbiter and masked mixologist? An heiress who struts under the moon Madame Mazona's banner? A wave of euphoria sweeps across every inch of synthetic skin, seeps in through the nose, and tingles every soul with crimson. She remembers the ancient city consumed by flames from the heavens and the brazen revelry that once raged within the walls. The power of the judge lies with the net that hasn't even descended yet. She clearly has no authority to summon heavenly fire. But history always has a share of those who drowned in their whirlpool of intoxication and desire. Lilith, at your service. She carries herself with such dignity and grace that even the faintest misstep in her composure is instantly pardoned. Her heels, stepped in defiled blood, are hidden beneath silver trim. Each step on the marble rings with pose and a cruel delight. She is the one who bestows this prison in its ultimate rapture by her own hand. In the end, those revealers will topple one after another into the crimson pools born of their own reveille, while the black cloak has no place here and will never toil its fallen out. The opulent lamp perched on the triangular stand never dims, and yet Lilith remains unwavering in her certainty about how this filter will end. Why is it always you that manages to survive? Because I don't fear the very things that terrify you. It really is that simple.
At last, the word amidst of the Red Death is here, but the people remain disturbingly numb to the rotting flesh and frantic nerves. In this fallen garden, the Red Death, ironically called Euphoria, begins the endless dominion over them. Okay, now that's a good stopping point. That's actually a really good stopping point. This is a really good chapter so far. I really am enjoying it. We are now like what, 72%? So we should be able to finish it Tuesday, setting us up very nicely for when we do the main stream, if we're able to get down to it quick enough. But yeah, Lillian's character design is really good, really, really good. I enjoy the hell out of it. Speak of the devil.
How fierce, how bright.
Well, she is tall.
Focused gaze.
I didn't know how tall she
Were
is.
only found in zealous gamblers. So people this devoted to their missions also give off the same intriguing fragrance. What a rare scent for a candle. Don't you dare burn out that quickly, Commandant.
Well, you're a crazy woman. You're a crazy woman. What is? There we go. Now I can actually look. Lilith at her finest, pretty much. I gotta see how tall she is.
Lilith was a self-exiled witch. I like it when
There we go. Okay, she is 170. Ooh, 170 centimeters. Feet. She's 5'6". Oh, that's kind of tall for a woman. Damn, I knew she was tall. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for today. Made really good headway, really good progress in the chapter. I'm very, very glad to see how that went. Like I said, if we're able to finish it Tuesday, we'll be setting up really nicely for the main story to take part. I'm still finishing it up. I still got to do the visuals and master the audio, but other than that, it's pretty much ready to go at that point. So we made some really good headway. Again, with the floating record. Next part is going to be so much fun. Oh, is it? I can't wait. That should be a lot of fun then. I can't wait for how this chapter is going to end and what's going to happen with it. So, all right. I got a long day ahead of me. I'm actually going to take a nap first before I do this. So I'm going to take a nap. Then I've got to work on content. I've got to do a lot of things on the back end today. Tomorrow, I'm not going to do shit. Tomorrow is my one rest day. Out of the week, so I don't do any content. I just watch anime, spend time with my family, and get ready for the week. Because we're getting close to getting caught up on the game. So I've got to be really locked in on this home stretch of getting caught up. Like I said, I'm hoping to be done with the main chapters by winter, and I'm hoping to be fully caught up by the end of the year. So I've got to be really locked in on content. I've got to be really intentional with a lot of things. So I can't wait for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I'm gonna let you all go. I don't want to keep you guys any longer than needed. Longboy99, thank you so much for being here throughout the entire stream. I do thank you for that. I see you, and I thank you for watching. Equinox, if you're still here, I thank you as well. And ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all Tuesday night, 7 p.m. where we will be finishing Lillian's floating record. Until then, I'm out. Have a good weekend. You all be safe, and I'll see you then. Take care. Peace.